From Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
Tommy back.
Yeah, I am.
And the executive producers of Power.
There's levels to this game.
Comes the final season of Force.
We're going to have to be careful about our next move.
We get what we can now, and take the rest later. This is going to be the battle of our life. It's go time.
This is a dangerous life that I choose to be in with you.
Force.
Never bet against me, because I'm always win.
Premieres November 7th, only on Stars and the Stars app.
Hello, friends. Guess who? That's right. It is I, the replacer. Once again, I've been called on so you can play the new Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. With 3 expansive modes, 18 multiplayer maps, and the tastiest zombie gameplay you've ever freaking seen.
Available November 14th. Pre-order Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Now, rated M for mature.
Live from New York. It's a show that had a full rundown and then ripped it up and
throw it
away
out the window.
Because people are out here making moves.
Including Jerry.
One more hour until the trade deadline is officially done. Then maybe some stuff will trickle in.
KW, are you getting breaking trade news? Let me answer for you.
I never have my phone
But
out.
it's you could be getting breaking trade news.
It might be a
Is it Diana Rossini? She said she'd tell you first.
It might be the bill that I owe. I'm not sure. But first hour, first things first. I don't know how to turn off the ringer on my phone. Quinnen Williams headed to Dallas from New York. Is he going to save the Cowboys season? That seems like a lot, but maybe. Meanwhile, Sauce Gardner headed to Indianapolis. Greg Jennings is thrilled.
He sure is.
And the Colts seem like they're going for it.
They are going for it.
And finally, just an absolutely amazing day on the top of Mahomes Mountain. I don't want to give it away.
Don't give anything away.
I'm not giving it away.
But the mountain is known for fairness.
It's shocking.
Well, listen, Patrick was at the top. He had the first game of his entire career where he completed less than 50% of his passes.
Got to drop.
So he has to drop. So the question is, who takes his spot?
I just can't.
A lot of good candidates. Josh Allen's a candidate.
It's fantastic.
I've got a vote, but
Yeah. A lot of good candidates.
59 minutes. Right now, we are digging into the moves that the Cowboys are making. Quinnen Williams coming over from the Jets to shore up that porous defense that got exposed last night. Nick, I love this deal because I said flatly, Quinnen Williams is good. And the Cowboys need good players, but you didn't love it as much. Why?
No, I think this is insanity by Dallas.
Really?
Total insanity. They gave up potentially 90% for Quinnen Williams of what they got for Micah Parsons. And those players are not in the same stratosphere as far as impact on your team. That's first of all. Second of all, Jerry told Stephen A. yesterday this trade was in the works already. The major move was coming. That's about as bad a process imaginable, not because by telling Stephen A., but what it means is his decision was not at all impacted by the fact that they lost again last night, that they were even further from the postseason after last night, that the second-round pick they're giving away this year got even better last night,
True.
And they're not a D tackle away from contention. The Cowboys are right now. Philly, Tampa, the Rams, Seattle, Green Bay, Detroit, San Francisco are the 7 playoff teams. We all agree they're better than Dallas. The teams in their stratosphere, Chicago, Carolina, and Arizona, have all played them and beat Dallas. And so I am confident they are better than the Giants and they are better than the Saints. I don't know that they're better than Minnesota, who they'll play, Atlanta, who they don't play. Washington's in a weird boat.
Their hands full with the Giants.
Right, exactly. And if we heard today that the Atlanta Falcons had made this trade, we would say, with respect, and they have a better record than Dallas and an easier path to playoffs. Where do they think they're going? And so when you look at Brou, what the Cowboys gave up for Quinnen compared to what they got for Micah Parsons, they traded away, or they acquired a player, a D tackle in Kenny Clark. They traded away a D tackle in Mozzie Smith, younger, not nearly as good, former first-round pick. Fine. got a first, traded away a second, and then in 2027, got a first, and this is important, it's not on that graphic. The pick they're trading away in 2027 is the better of the 2 firsts they have that year. So if one team, say the Cowboys are awesome in a year, or the Packers are awesome, either way, but one of them, quarterback injury, something, top 10 pick, that's the pick that goes away. I don't understand why Dallas is acting like they are contenders when they are so far from.
But don't you think Quinnen Williams, because I'm not as down on it as you, this is not just for this season. I think Jerry probably thinks that. They think him and Logan Wilson, remember they got him, that those two, they'll obviously make them better defensively, but I agree, that doesn't solve all their problems, all right? But Quinnen Williams is 27. Logan's kind of a young guy too. So I think I like getting Williams. Like he is not Micah Parsons, but he's a top level defensive tackle. Yeah. Like last 3 Pro Bowls I think he's made. So he's a very good player. So I like this move by the Cowboys. Obviously they did give up a lot. I would have preferred to just, you know what, keep Micah. But that being the case that he's gone, I like this move.
I feel like we're stuck on it's like if we talked about the Mavs, like you should never get up Luka, like they did.
No, but
so now they're trying to get better.
Right. Yeah, I like that
narrative.
No, hold on. But here's why it's totally fair to be stuck on it. Just like with the Mavs when they traded Luka, they were like, we're all about defense. If they then traded the return they got for Luka for Trae Young, you'd be like, wait, what are you talking about? Yeah. When the Cowboys traded Micah, Jerry told everyone who'd listen, we're going to get 4 players out of this. No, you're not. You're getting Quinnen Williams. You're getting a worse, older, front 7 defensive player. That's what you're getting.
He's worse, but he's still excellent.
Right.
He's worse than Micah.
And you got the guy from Green Bay.
Kenny Clark. Right, but as far as the adding players, you traded away Mozzie Smith in this, who again was a first-round pick that didn't work out. But and this is where you and I are very different on this, and I know I can be frustrating, at least to you, I hope not to the audience, on trade stuff. You heard this trade, and this isn't me taking a shot because I think this is how the audience works as well. And before you heard the return, you're like, that's awesome for Dallas.
Yeah.
And I just objectively was like, how can you possibly have an opinion on this?
The Dallas has, like, every day we come on the show, it's like, wow, the Dallas defense is terrible. What are they going to do? They did something. Like
I'm more with Wilds on it. You just mentioned Mozzie Smith, a failed draft pick. Mm-hmm. There's no guarantee these other picks don't fail. So they're getting a proven commodity in Quinnen Williams, who is still relatively young.
The logic of trading Micah was we need a surplus of people. That's what Jerry told us. Jerry said we're going to be able to get 4 players out of this. And what I'm telling you is they just traded almost all of their return for Micah for one player who is, one's a DN, one's a D tackle. Quinnen is older, and Quinnen is not as good. It's bananas process. And so I think if you want me to be positive, not you, but I think this is a great job by the Jets. The Jets recognized that they need to reboot. I just think I would have been squeamish at paying this as the Chiefs, who can win the Super Bowl right now. I think it is insane for a team that currently is a half game out of having a top 10 pick of the draft, acting like they're making win now moves. We're about to talk about the Colts. The Colts, right or wrong, believe we can win the Super Bowl this year. Mm-hmm. I don't get the Cowboys. I don't understand the process.
I just think it's for look, I agree with you. I think Jerry thinks it's now. But I don't think this is a bad move for the future either with Quinnen. Because Quinnen is a proven commodity. Like, he's a really good player. He's not Micah, like I said, but he's a really good player. So you got, kind of a cornerstone type defensive player for the future, not just this season.
Before we move on, can I say, do you guys think this is a good move for the Jets?
Of course.
I think the Jets aren't even where the Cowboys are.
So I guess that's kind of my point. Because you're saying, of course, because the Jets,
the Jets are in
Jets
full
don't have a
down.
quarterback. At least Cowboys got a quarterback and an offense.
And what I'm saying is the Cowboys are closer to the Jets' neighborhood than the Eagles' neighborhood right now. That's the point I'm making. They are closer to, we need to reboot an entire side of our team. Maybe the Jets need to reboot both sides of their team, but the Cowboys need to reboot the entirety of the defense. And the Cowboys need to, is what I was trying to say. And they are making moves as if they are close. That's because if you love it for that's what surprises me. If you love it for the Jets and love it for the Cowboys, I think the Jets and Cowboys are not swimming in the exact same lane, but similar lanes. That's all.
Yeah, I see that rationale. But I know the Cowboys are good at one thing. They weren't good yesterday at scoring. But if you shored up the defense a little bit, perhaps you can make a run.
And I guess the Jets and Cowboys, I think, Josh, tell me if I'm right, had the same record last year. And this year the Jets have 1 win and the Cowboys have 3. And so we look at them.
Last year was due to injuries for the Cowboys.
Right, and this year their quarterback's fully healthy. And he's playing great.
But what do you want the Cowboys to do? Nothing?
I want the Cowboys to have a plan. And if when you traded Micah, it was an acknowledgement, we need a bunch of players, cost-controlled, good players, to then, 2 months later, turn the boat in the exact opposite direction and say, you know what, we really miss an impactful front seven defensive player, so all the extra equity we had from trading Micah, we're going to use on an older, lesser player, is, to me, it's insane.
I don't know if the Micah stuff, and I think that we've talked ourselves in circle here, how much of it was team fit, how much of it was money. I don't think it's just a player for player.
A lot of it was personal.
How much of it is just vibe-wise? What's Dak's feelings?
He got mad. He got his feelings hurt.
Okay, we're moving on to the other big Jets trade, which has Sauce Gardner leaving New York and going to Indianapolis. Now, this is 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell. Here's Sauce's reaction. New York, it's been real, and a green heart, which was nice. Here's the numbers on the Colts.
But I'm out.
Their offense has been excellent. The defense, pretty good at stopping the run, can't stop the pass. So they got Sauce Gardner. This made sense to me. Brou, your reaction?
I do like this for both teams. I think, again, smart by the Jets. They're not going anywhere. Rebuild. And Indies, they did need some help with rushing the passer, but a huge need was in the defensive backfield. And Sauce Gardner, who hasn't had a great season, I think he's going to play much better in Indianapolis. I think there's obviously fewer distractions, and now you're going to a team that's going to make the playoffs at least, and has a chance to win, get to the Super Bowl, they believe. So I think he's going to play much better than he has. I like their mentality of, we going for it. And we got the running back, we got the offense, let's strengthen the defense, let's go for it. All that said,
thank you.
The question remains, Danny Dimes.
Of course.
That question remains. Now, I will give him this. He did play well in a playoff game.
Yes.
One of his 2, he played really well. So we don't know that he'll melt. But going into the playoffs, the defense can be great. Taylor can be great. They can be scoring points, but we all are going to say, what is Daniel Jones going to do? But listen, great move, though.
I think this is an A-plus job by the Jets. I don't know if Sauce Gardner is just going to instantly recapture the player he was year 1 and year 2. Because last year he wasn't that good, and this year hasn't been that good. Now, he was a blue-chip prospect. He was so good his first 2 years. He hasn't suffered some post-injury. He's a different. So I think he's an excellent player. I can't say I know he's an excellent player, but I think he's really, really good. I think if you're the Jets, this is brilliant. And recognizing that, first of all, we hired a defensive coach. The idea is he can maybe do a little more with less, and we need to retool so much, and we need to have a lot of optionality in this year's draft and next year's draft. And I look at A.D. Mitchell as more than a throw-in. A.D. Mitchell, he's only famous because he dropped the ball against the Rams. But he was a top 60 pick 1 year ago. And so he has been underwhelming, but the Colts kind of have a deep receiving core. They don't have like an A-plus player, but they have a deep receiving core he couldn't quite break through on. So I think for the Jets, this is great. I think for Daniel Jones' future employment, this is unbelievable because this is the strongest vote of confidence a player can receive because what the Colts are saying is we're not going to be in the quarterback market anytime soon. Every team that has made a move like this has believed, rightly or wrongly, very often wrongly, we're set at quarterback. Here are the last decade of guys to go for multiple first-round picks. 2018, the Bears traded 2 firsts for Khalil Mack. That was a year after they spent the number 2 pick on Mitch Trubisky. They're like, we are set there. The Texans traded 2 firsts for Laramie Tunsil. That was 2 years after they had traded for Deshaun Watson. We're set there. The Rams traded 2 firsts for Jalen Ramsey. That was months removed from going to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. They thought they were set there. They ended up not being, but they thought they were.
Worked out.
The Seahawks traded 2 firsts for Jamal Adams in one of the worst trades that franchise ever made, but they had Russ. They thought we're set there long term. Obviously, the Packers doing with Micah believe that we're set there. Nobody does this if they think, oh man, but we might need to draft a quarterback soon. And so this is a huge vote of confidence in Daniel Jones, which is why I think this is just an insane gamble by the Colts. Because it would not, as much as you are rooting for Daniel Jones, it would not shock any of us if the Colts next year at the trade deadline are 3-6. It wouldn't shock a single, and Daniel Jones, we're thinking about, man, remember those hot couple months like that? I'm not saying you're predicting it, but it would not stun you if that's the case. And the Colts are putting massive equity in the idea, no, that's not going to happen. He is just going to be solid. And I think that is a huge risk.
But they've also been a solid team, even without a good quarterback.
Correct.
So I don't think, I think that's how they're looking at it. We're not going to be at the top of the draft.
We're not going to bottom out.
Where we'll get some blue chip prospect, which obviously those don't always pan out either. But I think that's what they're thinking too.
When will Daniel Jones earn your faith? So Baker, 100% you believe in Baker.
This time next year.
So is Sam Darnold on that?
Sam Darnold, at this moment, Sam Darnold's just a good quarterback.
Okay, that's where I think they think Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
what if Jones had a great playoff run to the AFC Championship game and they lose there?
Oh yeah, okay. So then he could earn it earlier. But if it goes, if he is just really good the rest of the year, they make the playoffs, and he has a nondescript, you know what I mean? Not even the Darnold playoff game. Because the Darnold playoff game set him back.
Yes.
But if he's just fine, they draw the Chiefs in round 1, and he plays fine, but they lose. That I wouldn't. And then next year the Colts are good again. I'm like, oh,
he's just good.
You know,
let's call it what it is. I think 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's solid, but it's not lighting the world on fire either.
Well, in that
the offense is moving. The running back is, but he's been good, throwing for a lot of yards, but he's never thrown for a ton of touchdowns.
Well, and that's my other concern for him, because when you were talking yesterday about how he had
his rookie year
he was really good.
12, yeah.
But then that year with Dable when they made the playoffs, he had 15 touchdowns passing that year. And so Baker had 2 awesome years in Cleveland. Darnold never had it, but Darnold was such a blue chip prospect. He was in a different category than Daniel Jones, at least to me, where Darnold was considered a guy coming out of high school. We were like, he's going to be a top 5 pick, and Jones kind of took the world by storm, so to speak. This is just a massive vote of confidence in Daniel Jones, and it is also a vote of confidence in Sauce. Like, I don't know about you guys. I don't right now, this moment, view Sauce the way I viewed Jalen Ramsey coming out of Jacksonville. And Jalen Ramsey, it felt like every year was the best corner in football. Sauce is...
A few years ago, you felt that way about Sauce.
Right.
Sauce the Jets are so dysfunctional. Right, it's hard to get a read on who's great and who's
But he was great there. That's the problem, is like he was able to overcome that.
The culture wore him
down. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. The Colts host the Falcons in Germany on Sunday morning.
The Colts host the Falcons. So
Colts,
Sauce has to
home...
play 2 Europe games.
Yeah.
The Jets played a Europe game.
Yeah, they already
earlier.
played.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a home game for the Colts, but it's in Germany. All right, we're going back to Monday night. Cowboys now 3-5-1 after losing at home to the Cardinals. Defense porous, but they tried to fix it today. Offense ineffective, Brou. They didn't score an offensive touchdown until the fourth quarter. Here's Dak.
Disappointing, very frustrating. Knowing that you're better than that and going out there and not putting a performance close to your standard or even the expectations or what you thought you could do and expected to do against this team, and credit to those guys. That's the beauty of the NFL. Like, games, plays, stats, none of that's done on paper. You've got to go out there and you've got to earn it that night with everything taken into account. And they kicked our ass and both sides of the ball.
All right, here are the grades so far. Okay,
the T really threw things.
That was Hub's idea.
What was the T?
Hubs or Dusty, one of them.
What was the T for?
T's, because that's what they are.
Oh, that makes sense.
They might actually be a tomato can again. I'm not sure. They keep bouncing back and forth between T's
I like the
and
T.
tomato.
I like when you switch it up a little.
Okay.
All right, what was...
Well, this one.
But it screws up the GPA.
Well,
I got to be honest. It makes it different.
Well, look.
Okay, gee.
No build up.
No preamble.
No
Usually it's
drama.
wow.
No suspense. None of that. Anybody with eyes could see. F game. I wish my boys were here to sing about it. All right, they're on a world tour or something.
Wow,
like
we
that.
really helped them.
We helped them blow up. But F for fraudulent.
Oh.
Enough about the great offense. All right? Because if you take out the 2 horrible clubs from New York and my Packers, who didn't show up that day, the Cowboys have averaged 24 points a game in their other 6 games.
Well, I don't think you can take out the Packer game, Brou.
Even with that, it might be 20. I mean, no, I'm putting it in there. They got fortunate that the Packers took them lightly. Yesterday, against a solid defense, not great, solid, good. They put up 10 points when you are fighting, theoretically, for a playoff spot. 10 points of offense? Unacceptable. F for foolishness.
Oh, there's several.
I like it. That's why we got right to it.
Gotcha.
Enough with the Dak is playing as well as any quarterback in the league. Boy, if they had a defense, he might be the MVP. No, he wouldn't. Last 2 games, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 2 L's, and a passer rating in the 60s. All right, I like Dak. He's a good player, well-spoken at the podium, but enough of is he going to be the one to crack the top 5 and join Lamar and Mahomes and company? No, he's
Flacco.
not. F for foolishness, Flacco. And now, finally, an F for full stop.
Oh.
Full stop on the Brian Schottenheimers, the next Vince Lombardi. Shottie's done a nice job.
Done a great job.
Shottie is, that shows you how low the expectations were. You don't get them up every week to play. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. We have no idea who's going to show up. All right, I like Shottie.
People were saying that.
He's a nice, that's what I'm saying. People, it's too much. He's been a nice little hire, okay? He's been better than we expected. It's been cute.
Yeah.
Some weeks, and some weeks it's been very ugly. They are, Nick, and I know you don't like this because I threw it out at the Chiefs yesterday.
Oh, here we go. Their record against
they're 0-4-1 against winning teams. I mean, if you could play a bunch of tomato cans every week, maybe you get close to the playoffs, but you can't. So you're an F team.
Excellent.
All right. First of all, for the audience, if you couldn't tell, Brou thought we were leading the show with that and really had a lot of energy for it to get us
typical
A3, and I loved it, Brou. I was enraptured by it. Their season's officially over, which is why that colored my feelings on the Quinnen Williams trade so much. I just don't.
You're not that high on Quinnen, though.
No, I think he's good. I don't think he's. I don't
A
think
few
he's
years
as good
ago,
as
people thought he was like.
I don't think he's as good as Jeffrey Simmons. I don't think here's my problem, and then I'll get back to this.
Go.
A few years ago, people were looking at him like.
No, right when he was playing really well.
Type
yes,
guy.
but I guess my problem is this. Sauce Gardner's the best corner in football. Quinnen Williams one of the best D tackles. The Jets defense, Aaron Glenn's going to be a good defensive coach. The Jets defense stinks. It's like, well, I don't know. I mean,
you got culture out there. It's terrible.
But as bad as the culture was when Quinnen and Sauce were playing at all pro levels, the defense was really good. Won 7 games with Zach Wilson. People told me all about that. And so that's...
You know what?
What?
I got to give him his props.
Who?
Robert Saleh.
Okay, yeah. Big Bob Saleh did a great job. So, all right, but now on the Cowboys. No, their season's over, and it didn't need to be. Like, this is such a missed opportunity for Dallas. And I went through the teams. So they're in, I think it's fair to say, the weakest division in football. Given what's happened to Washington, it's just the Eagles. There's no other division in the league where it's just one team.
The South.
The Panthers be the second best team in that division. Like they're 5-4. The Falcons have a better record than them. That's 2 teams, not counting the Bucs. Like they are. And if you went the AFC South, the Jags are legit. I think the Texans are as good as the Cowboys. So they had an opportunity here. And when you look at the 7 teams in the NFC playoffs are good teams. Philly, Tampa, the Rams, Seattle, Green Bay, Detroit, San Francisco. Then there's like the teams fighting in the playoffs, Chicago, Carolina, and Arizona, who all beat them. The teams in the Cowboys neighborhood, Minnesota, Atlanta, Washington, and then I would include the Giants and New Orleans. You know what? Like those are the bottom 5 teams. Those other 5 teams either have rookie or young quarterbacks or quarterback problems. Minnesota has a first-year starter who got hurt. Atlanta has a second-year quarterback who was hurt during the year and they lost a game because of it. Washington's quarterback has been hurt twice. The Giants is a rookie. New Orleans has no idea who their quarterback is, and they play different guys. The Cowboys have Dak Prescott, who, again, maybe Brou wasn't the MVP, but prior to 2 weeks ago had been playing at a very high level. And I thought yesterday, I'm not going to kill him on the pick. The pick was at the very end of the game, but they only scored 10 points to your point. To be in that position with a healthy quarterback that is a veteran and good shouldn't happen. It's not happening to any other team in the league. And so I just think it's a disaster for them.
Bru's ballot next, and we're going to see if any more trades come down the pipeline. I can't wait to see Bru's ballot. That's next on FS1.
It's an interesting ballot. There was a lot of movement.
Oh, good. The Fox Sports Channel, Sirius XM.
Silent nights. Total drag. But incredible holiday deals are happening now on Bose.com. Bose products deliver full, rich sound with the power to transform boring into anything but. Find something for everyone on your list and big savings right now on Bose.com. Holidays deserve music. Music deserves Bose. Shop Bose.com/Spotify.
Fox Sports proudly salutes our nation's veterans. That's why we are making Camo Our Cause this Veterans Day in support of the Honor U.S. Vets campaign. To donate and learn how you can help end veteran homelessness, visit go.fox/US-vets. Welcome back to First Things First. 6-2 Rams hosting the 6-3 49ers this Sunday. Mac Jones, 5-2 as a starter, but his performance does not affect Brock's status as a starter, according to Kyle Shanahan. Take a listen.
I mean, this is Brock's team. If Brock's good to go and everything and can play like Brock, there's no decision to be made. It's just nice as we go through this with Brock, the uncertainty of the toe. It is cool to have someone playing as good as Mac is.
Okay, no big deal. 5-2. The passer rating 93. He's had 3 great games and 4 games that weren't so great, but one of them he
4 games.
2 of them he won. So.
Yeah.
Should San Francisco stick with Mac Jones, bro?
I mean, really?
Really?
What, 5-2?
Yeah, stick with him until Brock gets back. Like Shanahan said. I mean, were we gonna replace Dak Prescott, who Brock has beaten in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, with Cooper Rush when he went 4-1 and actually put up numbers?
Brou, to be fair,
I did not say they should replace Dak with Cooper Rush. Y'all tried to put that on me, but I will not receive that.
You heard it, though.
From who?
I don't know. You said it was out there.
No. Look, Mac has been good. This is what you want from a backup. I mean, Mac has played well. And if he has not played well enough to displace a quarterback who led you to the Super Bowl, a quarterback who left the field against the boat with the lead in that Super Bowl, a quarterback who has led game-winning drives in the playoffs against really good teams. I mean, he hasn't played that well, and if he were lighting it up, and Nick knows this, Brock got the contract.
Well, yeah.
I mean, so you wouldn't, if he had played so well that you were like, man, we can move on from Brock. Yeah. Well, the way to move on from Brock is not to bench him, because then, I mean, the value with that contract already would be tough to move him, but that would make it even harder.
It shouldn't be tough to move him, Brou. He's next Drew Brees. Everybody likes
not
Brock
if you're
Purdy.
benching.
He's a great
if he's
quarterback.
the next Drew Brees,
well, listen,
then do what I'm saying and put him back in there when he's ready
Drew
to play.
Bledsoe got a pick traded for him because Tom Brady was there. Here's the thing. I think that they're going to go back to Brock because of the contract. I think that's true. I also think that they're going to get the same level of quarterback play they've been getting out of Mac, because the last 2 years, since the Niners haven't had full-blown Avengers, that's the level of quarterback play you get in Kyle Shanahan's offense. The yards per game are within a tenth. The passer rating is 1 point. The touchdown-interception ratio goes to Mac. The yards per pass goes to Brock. The completion percentage, which I don't care about, is a wash, but technically would go to Mac. And the record goes to Mac.
But in fairness, did Christian McCaffrey play last season with Brock?
No, but George Kittle did. And
but you watch those games.
No.
McCaffrey is playing. McCaffrey could be in the MVP conversation if his numbers were better as far as running the football. So that's a big difference.
I totally agree. But McCaffrey, but if we're going to add a McCaffrey curve, then it goes to all of Brock's accomplishments that you listed happened with the leading them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if Mac leads them, they go to the Super Bowl.
With Christian McCaffrey and with those things. I just think that we are getting a real-time, long sample test of what can a veteran, sorry, KW, mediocre quarterback do
national champion
in Kyle Shanahan's system, and it's what I think Greg and I have said for a long time would be the case, which is there is a floor Shanahan puts on it as long as you're a competent starting quarterback, which Mac, I didn't think he was going to be, but has clearly proven to be. So I just don't think there is going to be, I guess here would be my point. The Niners are 6-3, and this would be, I'll ask you. The Niners are 6-3, right? They're in the thick of the playoff race.
6-3, yep.
Any other team that was in the thick of the playoff race with their backup, we'd be like, oh man, look out when that starter comes back. Does anybody think they are going to be demonstrably better with Brock than they currently are with Mac? Because I don't.
No, so I don't. I think that's why you can go back to Brock, because they're not going to be demonstratively better. However, Brock does provide you an element that Mac Jones doesn't, and that's
the mobility.
Being able to extend the plays and make plays outside the pocket. Not saying that Mac can't do it whatsoever, but that's what Brock has shown that he can consistently do at a high level. To your point, this is what the 49ers do and what you expect of your backup quarterback, and this is the best case scenario. Like, this is the absolute best case scenario. The thing that if I'm Mac Jones, that I don't like to hear, which if you're Brock Purdy, you love to hear, is these two aren't relatable. How will Mac Jones play, and the fact that Brock is going to be our starting quarterback is not even in question. Doesn't matter.
That you can't win.
That part, if you're a backup, I don't care what position, you don't want to hear that, because this is my shot. And if I'm proven, if I'm playing at a high level and I'm winning and I'm not the reason why we're taking a step back, like Mac Jones has been superb for this team. Superb for this team doesn't say a whole lot, because Brock Purdy is probably going to have similar numbers, which you just showed. And the ability that they both possess isn't drastic. It's not like Trey Lance to Brock Purdy or anybody else where it's an extreme running advantage for Trey Lance and something drastically different. They're very similar quarterbacks, with Brock Purdy just having the ability to extend plays.
I don't think, and Wiles, you probably like this, I don't think it's off the table. Like, what Mac is doing is setting himself up maybe for a trade or to go somewhere and get a chance to – I know he's got one more year on his deal, but,
not this year.
Get a chance to start somewhere. It's not off the table that he could be another Darnold or Daniel Jones or Geno Smith or Baker Mayfield. Like, go somewhere and just be a starter.
Yeah, no kidding.
No kidding. What? I mean, nobody thought that till he went in this year.
He made the Pro Bowl, and he's 5-2. And he's keeping Brock Purdy on the bench. Here's what's actually happening.
He's keeping him on the bench?
Brock Purdy's turf toe is not going to heal.
It's exactly.
Well, this not year, going. Yeah. So Kyle Shanahan can say whatever he wants. Quick personal story. My son is 11 years old. We're not letting him get a phone. He said, "What if I raise the money myself?" I said, "You know what? If you get $800, I'll buy you a phone." Never happening. Usually, you're not selling $800 worth of lemonade. So this is just all in the ether. It's Mac Jones is the starter for the 49ers. Brock Purdy is never going to have a day where he's like, you know what? My turf toe is 100%.
Well, this season. He might be out the rest of the season.
Oh, okay, then we're good.
But we're talking about, the quarterback of the Niners for the future.
Ooh, okay.
Because
I thought we were talking about
unless Mac were to lead them to,
I'm
the Super Bowl.
talking next few weeks.
I'm saying, I do think they're going to try to let Brock just get as healthy as he can get.
But hold on. If Mac had played terribly, I guess here's the question I have in related to that. Mm-hmm. If Mac were playing awful, but they were winning somehow, you know what I mean? So they were still in the playoff race. No, but let's say they were 6-3, but Mac was putting up. It's the Anthony Richardson with the Colts. You know what I mean? They're winning despite it. Do you think Brock could start? Like that's what Wilds I think is saying. Brou is Brock. It would be uncomfortable. He wouldn't be 100%, but he could play this week. And that they are being cautious about it because of the level Mac is playing.
I agree with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay.
Like, he went out in the second game and didn't play that well because, the toe. So, if you got somebody playing well, then get your starter right as you can.
Yeah.
But
we agree though.
Don't get too excited about it, Wilds, because Brock got the kadoosh. He's not good. He's got the contract.
And it's by the way, classic one by me, grievous mistake. Paying Brock Purdy, now that you're seeing this, was a grievous error.
It's a team-friendly deal, isn't it?
It's $55 million a year. I don't know how team-friendly that is.
Over years.
On the other side of this weekend's matchup between the 49ers and the Rams, Matthew Stafford. He's won 3 in a row, put himself firmly in the MVP conversation in Las Vegas. But has he done enough to find himself on Bru's
Where is he
ballot?
at in Vegas?
Let's find out.
All right. A lot of changes. At number 5.
Love it.
Jalen Hurts coming off a bye.
I like how so many changes are on this list.
Yeah, look, week to week, we're still only halfway through the season. 15 touchdowns, 1 pick, really 20 touchdowns, tied for second in most touchdowns by our quarterback this year with 20, and only 1 turnover. And last few games, obviously, been cooking, 5th in the league, 114.4 passer rating. You'll like this one, Nick. Number 4, let's hear it for the wide receiver.
Wow.
And Greg.
Okay.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. All right, he is on pace to become the first 2,000-yard receiver ever, averaging 118 yards a game and averaging 16 yards per catch. Unusual nowadays. No other receiver with 50 or more catches is averaging more than 11 yards a catch.
That's amazing.
So he's doing this
and
thing.
They just added,
and they just got Rashid, Shaheed.
Which should help
they gonna have Darnold. We'll see if he cooks with that. All right, at number 3, moving back in, been out for a few weeks. Josh Allen, numbers aren't, they're not that eye-popping, but clearly he makes that team go. Played fantastic against the Chiefs, fantastic against the Ravens, which, despite their troubles, was still obviously a big game. Those were like his 2 best games of the year and 2 biggest games of the year. Yeah. All right, at number 2, Wilds.
I like it.
Your guy, Drake May. I know you want him here. Wasn't, fantastic last week, but still played very well. Take out Lamar, and he's first in the league in passer rating. Leads the league in completion percentage, 74%, which is amazing.
This is what I think it is. This is an amazing moment coming at number 1.
Everybody's all.
I knew it. My guy.
I look. 37 years old. I doubted him because of the training camp.
I told you it was all phony.
It seems like it was.
Time off.
He's having his best year of his career, which is saying a lot. His touchdown percentage, interception percentage are both the best of his career. On pace for a 113 passer rating, best of his career. And right now has 21 touchdown passes and only 2 interceptions. So he's doing his thing. I got to give him love. So
and they might be the best team in the NFC.
Possibly.
In the discussion.
They have a legit case for it.
Yep.
Look, I mean, it is one of the reasons why you trade for or you acquire a guy like Devontae Adams. So if Puka Nacua who has suffered injury, if he is out, you can do what you did against the Jacksonville Jaguars because you still have that guy. I love this from Matthew Stafford because he's been one of those guys that we kind of gloss over. Even when he came into the league, coming in with Megatron, obviously he had to prove it, and he was with the Detroit Lions. Obviously, they weren't a great franchise then. But he's done nothing but be great for this team.
It would put him in the Hall of Fame.
100%.
MVP.
100%.
Yeah, because he has the Super Bowl ring, but he doesn't have he has the cumulative stats, but the paucity of Pro Bowls and All Pros. If he won a league MVP, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah. Coming up, excellent addition of Bruce Ballot. Coming up next, can the Cowboys turn things around? We get Greg's take on Quinnen Williams to Dallas. That's next on First Things First.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Michelin tires. Go to TireRack.com to see their Michelin test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Back to Dallas. Jacoby Brissett lights up the Dallas defense, who got better today by getting Quinnen Williams from the Jets. I didn't have the picks exactly. Oh, here it is. A second and a 27 first, and Mazzie Smith. Greg, your reaction to the game and the trade?
The game, I got to watch the first block, Brou, so I saw the professor. Yeah. But this right here, this is when you're Jerry Jones and you say, we've made a trade. Follow it up with this guy. This should be the first name we hear.
Not Logan Wilson?
Not to disrespect Logan Wilson.
Well, he was benched by the worst defense in football.
Yes,
so it's
and this makes that trade make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
With getting Quinnen Williams. Yep. This is when if you're going to go for it, just go for it. Do I think he makes a dent in improving their defense? Of course. Will that help them try to save their season? I think it's too late now. Mm-hmm. Now, you go out, you might as well go all in if you're Jerry Jones now. Go get a pass rusher. He's going to provide interior pass rush and run stopping ability. I totally get that. That's great. That's what you've been saying that you need, that Micah didn't do, all the things. But just go get a pass rusher now. Your season's 8 minutes done.
Right, but hold on. So even with this trade, you think that this season is complete?
It's too much to overcome. You got too many teams that are already at 6 wins when you're looking at the NFC West. Losing that game,
a lot of games to
completely shifted everything for the Cowboys.
Which is, I do not understand how in this league you can agree to when you are hanging on for playoff life, how you can agree to terms of a trade before you know if you have lost grip of playoff life. It's baffling to me. It is, and I'm one of Greg Rosenthal, who works for the NFL, I think does the best daily NFL podcast there is. It's called NFL Daily, oddly. He tweeted this like 30 minutes ago, and I don't know if Greg's watching the show, but we're in lockstep. So the Cowboys traded Micah and Mozzie Smith for Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and to move up 15 to 20 spots into the back of the 2026 NFL Draft. That's it. That is the net of this. It is puzzling to me how anybody can see that and be like, wow, Jerry's still got his fastball.
Well, what about the money? Isn't the money always a factor?
So Quinnen Williams for the next, well, it's tricky though. So Quinnen Williams the next 2 years will be much cheaper than Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. But in order to justify this trade at all, you will then, you hope, to sign Quinnen Williams to the highest paid D-tackle contract ever. Yes, in the short term, it will save them money. There's no doubt about that. But I think this season is too far gone. And by trading away next year's first-round pick, what we are learning this season is you can have a healthy Dak Prescott and still be staring at a top 10 pick. Like, that is seriously concerning if you're Dallas.
Well, Nick, they don't have a plan.
Okay. All right,
I mean, you're upset because where's the plan? What are they? We knew had they had a plan, they would have signed Micah 2 years ago for $35 million or whatever it would have been, and it would have been fine. But they don't have a plan. We saw it throughout the offseason with the way they let it drag out and everything. We saw it with Dak. We've seen it all the time with Jerry. So if I take Mike, I agree. I wish they had kept Micah. Take him out of the equation, though. Quinnen Williams is a really good player. And I do expect, he's been good for the Jets. I expect to see an uptick, though. Now that he's with a better team, he's in Dallas. So I think he'll play even better. And I agree, I don't think this season's salvageable. But going forward, he's only 27 years old. So he's still got many good years ahead of him. So I like getting him, and it will help the run. I think they got a couple of young edge rushers that, can do something.
Would you guys have thought this was a good trade for the Bengals?
For the Bengals, no. I want the Bengals to go the other way, so that's a valid point.
Well, they're in the exact same boat.
I'm not so sure I would have felt that way about the Bengals. Because, again, not for this year, but going forward, when you get Joe Burrow back and then you got Quinnen Williams, I wouldn't have hated that for the Bengals.
Yeah, I still think it's a good to acquire somebody that you feel like you can build around, and he stabilizes what you've been struggling to do, which is stop the run. Absolutely. And he gives you an interior. Just 2 years ago, we were talking about Quinnen Williams as one of the best defensive tackles in all of football, alongside Aaron Donald. Yep. Like, that's what they have the opportunity.
You're leaving a guy out that was in that conversation. I agree with you.
Intentionally.
I agree with all that. And then I'll stop being annoying about this. I defended Jerry on the Micah trade once it happened. But with the process being, we need a bunch of players. And his argument was, we're going to get 4 players out of this. And they ended up getting 1.
But he was just throwing that. He was just.
But that was the only way it was defensible was, as good as Micah is, with the money we're going to save and the extra picks, because we clearly need help in the secondary. We need help at every level of the defense. That's what we're going to do. And then it feels like, it feels immature that you can't just then hold your water for the year and then cash in. Immature is the wrong word, just like childish almost.
It's just,
and I just don't get it. Great job for the Jets, Whit. Our boss, big Jets fan.
I agree.
Mahomes Mountain coming up in
shocking Mahomes Mountain.
In 45 seconds.
Greetings from my bath, festive friends. The holidays are overwhelming, but I'm tackling this season with PayPal and making the most of my money. Getting 5% cash back when I pay in 4. No fees, no interest. I used it to get this portable spa with Jets. Now the bubbles can cling to my sculpted but pruny body. Make the most of your money this holiday with PayPal. Save the offer in the app.
Ends 12/31. See paypal.com/promo terms. Points can be redeemed for cash and more. Pay in 4 subject to terms and approval. PayPal Inc. and MLS 910457.
Live from New York, the show's still waiting for the Patriots and the Chiefs to do something.
Chiefs, fine.
We're
fine. We're not going
You want to do something.
I wanted Tavondre Sweat, the D tackle from the Titans, cost-controlled rookie contract, add some depth.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they're trading him. I don't need to trade for any. I'm not trading a third-round pick for 8 games of Breece Hall.
Why
not
not?
doing it.
Why?
Because that's not how you say a dynasty. When your Patriots were a dynasty, did you guys do a lot of flashy trade deadline overpays?
We could run the ball.
You know how you knew the dynasty was over?
We could
when
run
you
the
paid
ball.
a second-round pick for Mohamed Sanu. 2019 to try to hold on to
was
things. Do you remember that?
Belichick.
You remember that? And it was like, oh boy, Belichick's lost his fastball.
You need to run the ball.
Okay, we'll be fine.
You got to run.
We'll be fine.
Today, Quinnen Williams to Dallas. Do the Cowboys do too little too late, or can Quinnen show up and maybe salvage the season? Meanwhile, Greg's Colts get Sauce Gardner. How much does Indy believe in their own team? More than Greg, perhaps? But right now, we're headed to the mountain. We're in the fun and games portion of the mountain. Usually it's super treacherous. This time it's just for recreation. You know what? Great mountain for Patriots. Mac Jones playing well. Jacoby Brissett played great yesterday. But where is Drake May going to be? Let me just tell you, stay tuned for this week's episode of Mahomes Mountain. It's a treat.
Indeed it is. It is a treat, and the mountain is fair, as always. And with no spoilers, Patrick had been at the top of the mountain fairly. Patrick, for the first time since he played at Texas Tech, and I don't even know if it happened at Texas Tech, maybe for the first time in his life, completed less than 50% of his passes, lost it. In fact, one way to put it, lost another Super Bowl. Gosh darn it, now that I think Patrick's lost 7 Super Bowls. That's a lot of Super Bowls. That's more than Elway. So he has to drop. Who will be at the top? We'll find out shortly. First, though, who's not climbing? Off the mountain, Burrow for injury, Purdy for injury, Kyler for injury, and Jaden for real injury. I should have said him first. That one's a tough one. Dylan Gabriel, Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, Marcus Mariota, off the mountain. Just is what it is. The first 3 guys
Shuck didn't even get a chance.
I mean, we'll Shuck.
I mean, you kind of.
Give him a little room for breathing.
Again.
Just saying.
Maybe Shuck will get on there. I'm not saying he can't ever get on there, but he didn't do enough to get on there yet. All right, bottom of the mountain, row 7. Jackson Dart, again, I just think that Giants-Broncos game is going to go down as the Giants' Hail Mary game for the Bears the previous year. Season in disarray. Tua already getting people fired. Michael Penix back on the mountain. I thought, listen, I don't know if those were good passes to Drake London or not. I know they were sick highlights. Bryce's team's winning. They're what are they?
He threw for 97 yards.
I mean, listen, he's on the mountain. Geno stays where he is. Valiant effort. It's hard. Listen, it's hard to beat the
love
brand.
Geno.
He stays where he is. You want me to drop him? They scored 29 points. Justin Fields, I don't want to drop you. But while Aaron Glenn did 2 things today, trade away the best players and not commit to you. I don't know what's going on. J.J. McCarthy on the mountain. He didn't play great, but had some moments. Row 6, Mountain's fair. I would have loved to move Caleb up. I desperately wanted to move Caleb up. Couldn't find room for him in the top 15. CJ, Bo Nix, Trevor. Again, these are all first-round picks. Again, I would have loved to move Trevor up. Top 15 is tough right now. Jacoby Brissett, though, oh my.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Parcells been talking about Jacoby Brissett for 10 years. Jacoby getting a real opportunity. Former great Patriot, or decent Patriot.
Yeah, good.
Another former Patriot, Mac Jones, out here cooking.
On the mountain.
On the mountain. Row 6, not even at the bottom of the mountain. Row 5. Here's why there wasn't room. Because Joe Flacco's got to be a top 15 guy.
Wow.
Joe Flacco is out here. I'm not asking the question, but making other people ask the question, is Joe Burrow a system quarterback? I'm not asking. I'm not asking the question. I'm not suggesting the New York Jets should call up the Cincinnati Bengals and say, hey, we now have 5 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. We'll give them all to you for Joe Burrow, since obviously you need to remake your defense. We need a quarterback, and anyone can throw for 300 yards in that system. I'm not suggesting that. Other people are. Jordan Love drops. Daniel Jones, sorry, Greg, 5 turnovers. Could drop further. Jared Goff drops, but that's not Goff's fault. It's because Lamar shows up. Aaron Rodgers stays where he is. Top 10, Sam Darnold out here just cooking. It's just 25 straight games, aside from a little brief pumpkin mode in the playoffs, of balling for Darnold. Dak has to drop, of course. Baker stays where he is. Justin Herbert, I thought, played really well. Sadly, he lost Joe Alt. They just traded for Trevor Penning, who the problem with Trevor Penning is he's not good, but he does play tackle. I don't know if it'll help him or not, but Herbert moves up. This next row, I think, is the most stacked row 3 in the history of the Mountain. Wow. And it's a very first things firsty row 3. It's my guy, Wild's guy, and Brou's guy. Show us row 3.
Wow.
Patrick Mahomes, Jaelan Hurts, and Lamar Jackson. What a third row. I mean, those guys all at various moments have been at the very top of the mountain themselves. One of them has the mountain named after him. The other one is probably going to, at the end of his career, have the regular season MVP trophy named after him. Give him an extra trophy, that way he actually has one. And Jaelan Hurts is a defending Super Bowl MVP. And now, major moment. We know who the 3 guys are that are left. And I don't know if we can put Wilds on camera as well here, guys, because I think this is a moment we should all share. Row 2 of the mountain, Josh Allen and Drake May, which means atop the mountain is everybody's All-American, one Matthew Stafford.
This is not cool.
So here's the deal, America.
If you outrageous.
If you
have say something,
yeah, please. Yes.
This is not cool at all. I'm not joking. I will let you in behind. This is what happened. I'm not happy.
I know you're not.
This is a line you don't cross.
Yeah.
Was it? Do you remember somebody said in our ear, this is during the pandemic when we were in boxes.
Uh-huh.
Someone said as a joke, hey, breaking news, something happened.
Yeah.
As a joke.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, I know you're joking and we're trying to have fun. Don't do that.
Right.
Because it's kind of a line that we can't cross.
Mm-hmm.
Putting fake stuff in the Google Doc is one of those lines.
So here
we can't do that. The show falls apart.
Let me explain to the audience what has happened here.
Nothing happened. Can I tell you something? Nothing happened. Nothing happened between 10 a.m. There was no games played. Did they make a trade or something?
You're totally right
If
about
anything, hold on. If anything happened, it's that we have 2 games against the Jets who got much worse. And Drake May, because Rich Tapestry, will be even better.
Listen,
this is outrageous.
I could lie to you, because here's the deal, America.
I can't believe this.
Kevin Wilds saw in the Google Doc that Drake May was atop the mountain and has prepared all day a celebration about Drake May being atop the mountain. Now, I could sit here and say Drake May was atop the mountain, but seeing Matt Stafford atop Brou's Ballot made me reconsider. That would be a lie. The fact of the matter is this: for 5 weeks in a row, we have talked about during the mountain Kevin Wilds breaks format, and does not say this guy move, this guy do this. Kevin Wilds instead uses it as a Drake May celebration. So it's a little good for the goose, good for the gander. And just so you know, Brou and Greg were in on it. Everybody got the real mountain.
Got told.
Everybody got the real mountain, KW.
It's a little tit for tat, Greg.
The fact that Brou was like, hey, gave me a high five. That hit my radar. I was like, that hit my radar. I was like, so
he's such a good actor, though.
That's true.
He got you. So I don't know what Kevin Wilds has prepared, but stay tuned about 6 minutes from now. But first, Greg Jennings, thoughts on the mountain?
Let me first say this. Well done.
Thank you, brother.
Well done.
I appreciate it. I won't do it again. It felt like it was time.
I hated to be included in this, but it just felt right. It just felt right. So I went along with it. But in all honesty, if we can put the mountain up.
Yeah.
I actually love this mountain. I told you this. Like, this is.
Thank you.
Like, I know I'm the Daniel Jones guy, but 5 turnovers, rightfully so, you have to drop.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about a guy that you did move up, and I thought about moving him up even another line, a tier, and that's Sam Darnold.
He's been great.
Who I thought Wildsy was your guy, but maybe he's not. The Darnold we're seeing, he's legit.
Oh my God.
Are you moving him up?
I'm not going to move him up.
You got nowhere to put it.
The question was about Lamar.
It was about Lamar coming back. Do I just put him above Lamar? But then it was like unfair because Lamar is,
Lamar.
He's Lamar.
Yep.
So, and Darnold last week was the tier below. But Sam Darnold this year has just been absolutely outstanding for this team. They're first in their division. Obviously, we know the record is 6-2. But if you put up his numbers next to any one of these quarterbacks, you're going to say, man, is Sam Darnold right there in the elite category?
Yep.
Yes, and it's going to be hard to top that top 3 tiers of mountains, those 6 guys. It's going to be hard to move into that. But if he continues to put up these type of numbers where he's the reason why this team is having success, Brou, you alluded to a young man on your Brou's ballot as an MVP candidate. You know why? Because of this guy. And if you look at his numbers, he's being special. That guy being JSN. These numbers are outrageous. Like, look at the bottom.
118 yards per game.
118 yards per game. Second most in last 40 years.
Wow. That's impressive.
It's Calvin Johnson, like that Megatron. Like, put that in perspective. Like, I played against Megatron. I know what he was. JSN has been special, and it all stems from the quarterback play. Mind you, a quarterback that all last season, all 3 of you were waiting for the pumpkin.
All 3 of them?
To show all 3 of you. All 3 of you.
No, he believed in him.
No, I was a Minnesota Viking guy.
He was the Viking guy. He believed in him. But luckily, Brou,
They
we
had
were
the
waiting
real
for it,
games
and then
that-
we
Right,
arrived.
exactly.
We were waiting for it,
When
and
they
then
did
it
arrive,
did arrive. And we were like, all right,
The
just
offensive line
as
failed.
expected.
But as I mentioned before, the Darnold we're seeing is legit. I'm not moving him up.
No, that's
But
great.
if he continues to play this way,
would you? Because I considered him as on my ballot.
That's what I thought he might be.
And it was between him and Hurts. So would you put him ahead of Hurts on
I
that?
actually would put him ahead of Hurts right now because I feel like we completely had Seattle off the radar for being this good, and largely because of what we didn't expect from Sam Darnold.
Can I ask one quick question?
Of course.
Rashid Shaheed, who I think is an excellent deep threat. He was one of the under-the-radar trades, New Orleans to Seattle today. That obviously helps Seattle. Do you think that hurts JSN's chances of hitting 2,000 yards?
I actually think it helps him.
Because he'll take more.
Because he'll take some attention away.
Okay.
Like with Cooper Kupp being in and out of the lineup from time to time, you need another guy. And they've been getting it by committee from some other guys, Horton being one of those guys. But when you have a guy in Sam Darnold who can't just be heroic like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson's, you have to have talented guys all around you and all around him. And they're doing that. So I love this for JSN.
All right, Brou?
I like Greg. I like the Mountain. There is one change, though, that I would make. And that is I would switch Jared Goff and Justin Herbert. Because here's the thing with Herbert, too. He's about to fall off a little bit. Joe Alt's gone for the season.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? And as you said, his replacement is not Joe Alt.
Yep.
So I think he's going to drop a little, which I would have loved to have seen them whole. Even without Slater, just with Alt there, because I think they're a really good team, but I think Herbert's going to come back to earth a little bit. He's already thrown 4 interceptions like his last 5 games or something like that. Goff only has 3 interceptions the entire season. Here are their numbers next to each other. I mean, Goff's are way better. It's not even close in just about everything except passing yards per game. But, everything else. Goff, he hasn't had any huge or not many. I think he had one huge game. But he's just steady and leading that, one of the top offenses.
So maybe this is unfair. Maybe this is the hand size bias, I don't know. But watching that game against Minnesota made me really nervous for Goff specifically, but for the Lions, because you saw what has just been an offense that works like clockwork. They were able to get pressure, and Goff went it's hard to play when you're under duress. Listen, Mahomes was under constant duress on Sunday night and played poorly. It just feels for the Lions, and again, maybe it's my own biases, different. When it's like, man, the moment he doesn't have real protection, it feels like an automatic negative play. And I agree with you, Brou, that projecting forward, I think Herbert's going to play his way down and Goff will probably play his way up. But right now, I think Herbert has done as well as he could do given the offensive line injuries. But I understand the point.
Man, let him live a little bit, Brou. Don't pull him down yet.
I've been on a bit of an emotional roller coaster in the last few minutes. Really since 10 a.m. Because part of me didn't even want to be at the top.
That's true.
I'm actually okay being second. I still think this team needs to climb. So I'm happy with Drake May here. We're on a 6-game winning streak, and here are his numbers. We're putting up 30 points a game. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Our completion percentage, I think, is the best since Drew Brees.
No, I think he's on pace to break the record.
Oh, I thought there was 2 Drew Brees seasons ahead of it. But either way, we're completing a lot of passes, and a lot of this is Josh McDaniels. The brilliance of the Patriots offense, and I don't want to take a shot at Caleb, it's kind of like the opposite of what's happening in the Bears offense when you watch it. Like, there's not a lot of spectacular stuff happening. Just like, oh, this little Josh McDaniels design, simple. He doesn't have to catch a touchdown. We're good. It's just nice and easy. The deep passes have gotten so much better. I think a lot of that is Kayshon Boutte, but he's got a hamstring now, but it's a grade 1, Greg. I don't know if he's going to play. He says he might play. I don't think he's going to, so maybe that comes down. We're on the road in Tampa, and we are underdogs, which, again, I like. But on the road this season, Drake May he's been basically perfect. So I don't quite know how I'm feeling about this. I was tricked all day. So I'm a little bit frazzled, but I'm okay being what I view as in having the second best quarterback.
Well, there's no
not left to right.
It's not left to right.
So it might be second.
It might be second, it might be third.
I'm okay with
Are you mad at me, KW?
No, but I did think it was a line that was crossed. I think it was a line that was crossed.
I'll be honest.
The show doesn't start in the Google Doc. It's not like what we're doing.
It did
you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
That's just not how it works. It's not how TV works.
That's not how TV works.
Just not how
all right, listen, America, here's the deal. KW is legit mad. I knew he would be legit mad. And I'm here to tell you it won't happen again, but I feel it was worth it.
It probably was worth it. But this is, breaking news. No, there wasn't. You can't play with some of the tenets of the show. Coming up next, we're breaking down more trade deadline moves. Can Quinnen Williams save the Cowboys season?
Greg's Colts going all in.
Next on First Things First.
I think we'll be back.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses come with open-ear audio, so you can listen to your favorite music without blocking out the world around you.
Hey, Meta, play Gorgeous.
Here's Gorgeous by Doja Cat.
You can also ask Meta AI questions.
Hey, Meta, when's Doja Cat's next concert?
Doja Cat is playing at the Los Angeles Theater next Tuesday.
Sweet.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, available at Ray-Ban stores and other authorized retailers.
Saturday college hoops. Bama, St. John's. That's noon on FS1. And then 7 o'clock on Fox, Arkansas, Michigan State, Calipari versus Tom Izzo, 14 versus 22. That all tips off Saturday, only on Fox. College basketball's here. I'm excited. Yeah, welcome back to First Things First. We're breaking down everything about the trade deadline. We are starting with the major moves out of New York. Sauce Gardner headed to Indianapolis for 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell. Greg, feels like the Colts are trying to go all in this year. What was your reaction when you saw this trade?
Look, I loved it. I know a lot of people are going to say, you gave up a lot for Sauce, who hasn't been playing like the talent that we saw when he first came into the National Football League, just on a tear as a rookie. However, when you think about what the Colts have been dealing with in their secondary, injuries throughout the secondary. Obviously, Charvarius Ward they put on IR, so he should be back after the bye. You couple that when you get back with a guy like Sauce Gardner, who is naturally kind of like Quinnen Williams, who is going to, with the exception of Quinnen Williams is going to a losing team right now. But you're going into a situation where you're being brought in because we identify you to be a piece that we need to take us over the top. You're going to get the best version of Sauce Gardner. And I love what they're doing. Obviously, Lou Anarumo is going to have a plan for him. But this speaks to how they view my guy, Daniel Jones. When you give up 2 first rounds, they believe in him just like I believe in him. I'll let you guys go, and then I'll react to you guys too.
I like what you said. I mean, this was what they needed. They needed some pass rush help, but that defensive backfield, the depth and everything. And we know Anarumo, if they should meet the Chiefs in the playoffs, has had success against Kansas City. Yeah. This, obviously, you got to have some way to try to stop the pass or slow down the pass. So Sauce will help with that. I like the move. I was saying earlier, though, Greg, the question, like now with the defensive backfield kind of solidified, especially with Ward coming back too, like where you don't look, everywhere you look on that roster, even though they don't have like a superstar receiver, they got some good receivers. Everywhere you look, it's like, man, we pretty good everywhere. The question will be quarterback. And Jones has been great, last week notwithstanding. But that's going to be the question going into the postseason, like we had about Darnold last year. How's he going to play in the big games? So, we'll see.
I think there is close to a 0% chance the Jets regret this. And I think there is a huge chance the Colts do. I think that the Colts, Greg is correct that this is the strongest vote of confidence imaginable for Daniel Jones. Because no team in the last decade in the NFL has made this type of trade without truly believing they've got their quarterback. Now, they haven't always been right, and we can show you what those trades were. Yeah. Khalil Mack, you can be like, the Bears traded for Khalil Mack when they had Mitch Trubisky. They traded for Khalil Mack, I don't know if we can show the less than a year after spending the number 2 pick of the draft on Mitch Trubisky. They believed he was the guy. The Texans traded for Laramie Tunsil right after 2 years after they had drafted Deshaun Watson, and that he was already a star. The Rams traded for Jaelan Ramsey months after going to the Super Bowl with Goff. The Seahawks traded for Jamal Adams when they had Russell Wilson there for a decade and felt he was, going to continue to be there. And obviously the Packers with Jordan Love. So this is you stamping. Yeah, Daniel Jones is going to be our quarterback, obviously this year, next year, and moving forward. We don't care that we are not going to be able to draft a quarterback. I personally think that is way too aggressive. I don't look at the Colts as a team who has to operate as if the window is this moment. And I understand Sauce is a young player, so your window extends even with him. But to put this much faith in a player that was not a part of your plan 4 months ago and that has played 8 good games for you is crazy to me. Like, truly and if I'm the Jets, I would, let me think of a good example. Who else could have offered? Like, I would rather have taken this deal from the Colts than if the Bears offered me the same thing. I think maybe the Bears are a bad example. I'm trying to think of, if you're the Jets and you had multiple teams offering you 2 first-round picks, I feel like part of the math is the Colts could be bad next year. It's not like when the Packers traded away 2 first-round picks, their opinion is there's no chance we're bad next year. The Colts are operating as if there's no chance they're bad next year. I don't view it that way. But it does signify that Daniel Jones is going to be their guy, and Daniel Jones is going to get a real contract this offseason.
They've got the number 1 offense and the 7th best defense. So I think if you're top 10 in both and you're number 1 on offense, you can stop the run, 4th best rush defense, and 8th best with Jonathan Taylor. That probably dropped. I felt like that was higher before the Steelers game, except they were just getting thrown on. So they play the Falcons in Germany this weekend. Then they're on the bye. Then they're at Kansas City.
Yeah.
So you were big on, obviously the tackle that turned the tide and Rashid Rice coming back.
Yeah.
if Sauce Gardner is like, you know what, I got Rashid Rice, then you're back to being the team that's like.
Okay. This is my other question. I mean, first of all, I disagray with you, but that's fine. I think Sauce Gardner's really good. Are you certain because it's been weird. His first 2 years in the league, he was all pro and fantastic. Mm-hmm. Last year he was not very good. And this year he's not been he's been fine. But he doesn't feel to me the caliber of player that Jaelan Ramsey was when he was traded for 2 first-round picks out of Jacksonville.
So it's interesting with Sauce and with being in the studio, Jets fan, he's seen this. Like, it depends on oftentimes the dynamic in the locker room. And I know this sounds strange because fans and viewers are going to be like, well, you're a professional. You're getting paid to play. Just play at the level that you're expected to play every single time. It's easier said than done. When I am not feeling the vibe of where I'm going to work every single week, it kind of changes my disposition. The reason why I think this works, and to your point, I do feel like Sauce Gardner has to correct some things. Like, he has to play better with his footwork, not be so handsy, because he has been known to get a lot of pass interferences, a lot of holding calls, all of those things. But when you believe, like I said earlier, that this team thinks that I'm a piece that can get them over the hump, you better believe he's going to give them the best version of who he is.
How could he not believe that about the Jets this year when they paid him 3 months ago?
Well, I understand, but when you look at the landscape of the Jets, I don't believe that we can win. It's one thing to be paid and to have an opportunity to make a lot of money. It's another thing to be paid to have an opportunity to make a lot of money, and I got a team that I know that I can win with.
He was seeing all training camp what the quarterbacks.
Man, in week 1 of the season, they scored 32, and the defense was awful, and he was part of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying his first game off the contract extension, they got shredded. Like, it's not, so I think it is, again, I think he's a really good player. I don't think he's been a great player in a year and a half, and I just want to put the question that you put to me on its head. Like, is it possible that in 3 weeks' time, the Colts are like, ooh, did we make a mistake?
If Mahomes, if they.
Like, if in 3 weeks' time, let's say they go to Atlanta, they go to Germany, but they win that game, and they play the Chiefs, and it's 37-24
Awful
Chiefs.
Bye, that would be concerning.
And it's like, okay, we're still really good. We're 8-3. We're going to win the division. But we are, not in the championship weight class. And this one player didn't fix our pass defense. Did we push our chips to the middle of the table too soon? I think that is certainly on the board of potential outcomes.
That's fair, but you bank on the idea of what we've seen on film. When this player does play at his best, we will sign up for that.
Yes.
And that's
at his best, he was the best corner in football. That's true.
All right, head to Dallas, where the Jets are sending Quinnen Williams to try to fix that Cowboys defense. Jets receiving Mozzie Smith and 2 first-round picks. Greg, did you like this move?
Look, I like this move a lot for Dallas.
Hold on, just real quick, just to correct it. The Jets are getting a first and a second. The graphic's wrong. That's just so everybody knows. A second this year and a first next year. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like this move a lot for the Cowboys. Obviously, Jerry Jones alluded to yesterday that he made a trade. And this is the type of name that you would hope, if you're a Cowboys fan, that would be associated with that type of statement and that type of bragging, if you will, that a trade was made. Quinnen Williams is a problem in the trenches. And not just from a run-stopping perspective, because we know he can do that, but even from a pass rush perspective, which is what they also need. Now, they do need more pieces. Does this change the tide of what they look like completely defensively in terms of wins and losses? I don't think so for this season. However, I think you will start to see that he solidifies what they want to be up front in the run game, and also in the pass rush department as well. So I like this a lot for the Cowboys.
I like it a lot, too. Look, I don't think it saves this season. I think you'll see some improvement defensively, particularly against the run, but I think for the future, he's only 27. And like you said earlier, Greg, a couple years ago, we were talking about him future Hall of Famer. And I think obviously that's still on the board. So I think this is a good piece to get going forward. Because even if Jerry, like I do think Jerry's thinking, okay, we're about to make a run now. But he certainly needs, that's wrong, but he certainly needs to be thinking, I mean, in the next few years, we got to do something. Because Dak, is just getting older. We got our receiver. Everybody's in their prime. So I think in the future, this could help the Cowboys. I like getting Quinnen.
That Jets defense must have been awesome, huh? I mean, they had Sauce and Quinnen Williams?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I haven't been dialed into the Jets. They've been losing a lot of games 9-7. I mean, my God. Hey. You got a shutdown D lineman in the number one corner in football. The hell's Aaron Glenn doing? I mean, I hate to be, I just have to be honest about how I feel about these things.
So let me ask you
I think the best trade that was made today was Rashid Shaheed. I think that's the most impactful. I think it's the team with the highest chance of going on a real playoff run. You gave up the least amount of real equity. I think he is not asked to be a one-man solution to a problem. Quinnen Williams is like, our defense is awful. Can you fix it? Is Sauce Gardner, you're telling our pass defense is awful. Can you fix it?
Can you help it?
I like the Sauce. I like Rashid, but I like the Sauce one.
Well, again, I think Sauce is a better player than Rashid Shaheed, but I also the different you gave up 2 firsts and a guy you picked 53rd last year versus 4th and 6th. What was the question you were about to ask?
No, I was just going to say if either one of these players were added, and again, it's hard to say this
to the Chiefs,
because of what you had to give up. Right. I get that.
Well, yeah, I would
But for
love
these teams trying to, specifically the Colts, trying to surmount the Chiefs, you have to be willing to take this type of a risk.
And I guess my point is, I think the reason that the Patriots can have a 20-year run and the Chiefs can have the run they did is because all these teams keep trying to accelerate the process. Listen, the AFC West maybe is getting stuff together, but I watched the Chargers be like, oh, we drafted Herbert. Let's go get Khalil Mack. Let's go do that. Let's go. And then all of a sudden you're at deficit. I watched the Broncos. Okay, let's trade for Russell Wilson and let's do these things. The Raiders have done it 3 times. I watched teams in the AFC East do it. I have watched these teams. The Bills, we have to overcome the Chiefs. We'll give Von Miller coming off a knee $120 million. That certainly won't go bad. Nobody wants to say, hey, there have been 2 teams in the last quarter century of football that have consistently been excellent, and they never make moves like this. Ever.
Well, they also got Tom Brady and
exactly.
That's the difference.
No,
and 2 great coaches.
That is the difference, but I guess my point is the Bills have a great quarterback, and they still they put their foot on the gas pedal too much. The Colts might not even have a great quarterback. Might not even have a good quarterback, and they're trading away next year's first-round pick to help their secondary right now.
And if you are to ask anybody in that Colts fan base, would they make this trade if it guaranteed they win 1 Super Bowl this year?
Of course.
Just like the Rams, they did that with Stafford. We're going to make this trade. We're going to go get Stafford. It worked out. They win the Super Bowl, buys them a little bit more time. They were heavy, and it's like, well, how can they keep all these guys? They start getting rid of some of the guys, and they're able to still retool, which they retooled a little quicker than what we all thought.
No, but of course you'd trade 10 first-round picks for a Super Bowl. I get that. The point that I'm making is if you're the Dallas Cowboys or the Indianapolis Colts, I think having an honest conversation about are we one in either timeline, 1 player away on that side of the ball, or do we need, if you're the Colts optionality? And the Colts think they might be. The Colts are taking a huge swing, and if Daniel Jones might make it pay off for him. The Cowboys, to me, had instantaneous regret on the Micah trade and now are trading 95% of what they got for Micah Parsons for an older, less impactful player on the defensive line. It's bananas. I just think it is. I think it's bananas. I know they're big names. I know that. I think it's an insane way to run football teams.
Bills and Chiefs don't do much at all. Was that
smart?
Right move?
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right.
Hey, welcome into Walgreens.
Hi there.
Hey.
All right, hon, I'll grab the gift wrap, cards, and, those stuffed animals the girls want.
Great. And I'll grab the string lights and some... How about I grab some cough drops?
This is not just a quick trip to Walgreens.
I'm fine, honey.
Well, just in case. You know what they say. 'Tis the season.
This is help staying healthy through the holidays. Walgreens.
Ooh, big noon Saturday. The Hoosiers are tough. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
The idea that Indiana might win the national championship, I'm still wrapping my head around.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
There's a strong chance.
What? Go ahead.
That the Colts and the Hoosiers, like Indiana is the football capital of America.
I believe in the Hoosiers.
Look.
I believe in the Hoosiers.
If this happens, I'm going to have to get out the nap town.
Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh, my.
Rick's in my ear about Notre Dame. We got
I will claim them, believe me.
Chiefs and Bills, we are keeping our eye on our social media, waiting for something to happen. Nothing happened. I was expecting something.
I was too, to be honest.
Are you okay with the Chiefs and Bills standing pat?
Yeah, listen, I think they're the two best teams, certainly in the AFC, and they're the two, to me, scariest teams in all of football. And I don't think any of the other teams in that scariest tier most of them didn't make any moves. The Eagles adding Jaelan Phillips, is a good swing.
Good move,
And so, that could be impactful. But the Rams didn't do anything. The Bucs didn't do anything. The Ravens, who have to fight their way
Eagles
up there.
did some stuff.
That's why I said the Eagles added Jaelan Phillips. The Ravens added the
Draymond.
Draymond Jones. I thought the Bills might go after a wide receiver. I think the Bills probably felt a little snake bitten by the Cooper trade last year, which was not a huge. They didn't pay a ton for it, but they got almost nothing and no return on it. The Dolphins wanted a first-round pick for Jalen Waddle. I think that would have been. I think that would have been a mistake for Buffalo to give up a first-round pick for Jalen Waddle.
Agreed.
I'm sure I would have been the only. Oh, you agree with me?
I do.
Okay. Because the Bills lead the NFL in yards. We talk about they need more stuff on offense. They lead the NFL in yards.
Do you think they would have made a move if they lost? I think that would have been. I think almost like the win gives you this false.
I think it depends on how they would have lost. Because to your point, when you watch the Bills, I believe that they understand what we have in this 3 tight end type of an offense. They have pieces that just make sense. And adding a receiver, you tried to get it in the draft with Keon Coleman, that didn't work. Joshua Palmer has been out on injury. When he gets back, it'll be a little bit better. But you don't want to try to make a fabricated answer for something that you've been getting by with because we have this core group of guys. You got to remember, one of the constants, they play at the Chiefs all the time. They're going to run up in. What's the one combo that the Chiefs always have? That Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes combo.
Yep.
If Josh Allen has Dawson Knox
And
or Dalton Kincaid, if he stays healthy, they will be just fine. You don't make a swing like that of somebody that you're bringing in that you don't know is going to work out.
The swing would have been, honestly, to replace Ed Oliver.
Yes.
So I think the Chiefs also, everybody thought the Chiefs were going to go after a running back. It seemed like they were definitely not. And then with Pacheco getting hurt, seemed like that window opened a bit.
Also, Breece Hall just keeps on tweeting out memes.
Yeah, Breece Hall wanted to be traded. And people can say this. The reporting out of Kansas City is the Chiefs were willing to trade a 4th that could turn into a 3rd. The Jets wanted a 3rd. And so it didn't happen. Now, people can say that's a mistake. I think that it would have been against how the Chiefs have done business to say, we don't value that position. We're not drafting that position outside of the 7th round, but we will give up a 3rd-round pick for 8 games of Breece Hall and then have to pay a big contract. So, that didn't surprise me. I did think they might try to go get D-line help because it's not as impactful as Ed Oliver, obviously, but they lost their 2nd-round pick to a torn ACL. He's a D-tackle. The Bills lost Ed Oliver, but neither one of them got T'Vondre Sweat. Neither of them went and got it. I think they're both fine, and I think it takes a long view of an organization to, what is the last mid-season trade that made a significant impact that year? Like that's a trick question, I guess.
Was OBJ traded to the Rams? He's going to win.
Was he traded or was he outright?
I think he was out.
Signed? But OBJ would be a good one. Yeah. OBJ is a great example, but it's a lot more sizzle than steak typically on these moves. Like I'm sure.
I gotta go back. Antonio Brown was traded to the Bucs.
Antonio Brown was signed.
Yeah, he was.
He was signed because the Raiders cut him. The Raiders were like, "You froze your feet off in the chamber." No, he was traded from the Steelers to the Raiders, and then the Raiders cut him because he fought about the helmet and froze his feet off. Yeah. And then Brady saved him. So I mean, it's just tough.
I would have loved to have seen the Chiefs go get Breece Hall. I mean, that would have been, Look, I think they'll be fine because their running game, they haven't had a great running back, with Mahomes. But yet, when they've needed the yardage, they've found a way to get it. And so Kareem Hunt, we know with the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, he's been good. And he's had, he'll get you a 7-yard run here.
Good big 7-yard run.
So I think their run game will be fine. But if they had gotten Breece Hall, I do think that would have sent shivers throughout the rest of the AFC and league.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you disappointed your Patriots weren't as aggressive as the Colts?
We have.
They're both 7-2. They're both ahead of schedule. They both have plenty of money.
We've got plenty of money and plenty of draft picks.
Right. I think it's.
I guess it's smart that we're, speaks to your time
taking
frame.
The long view.
At the same time, the future's now on an exit ramp. So.
Yeah, but I see the Patriots differently than I see the Colts. Like the Patriots knew what they had in Drake May.
So they had the plan already.
Absolutely. The plan was set.
Yeah.
With Daniel Jones.
It's found money.
Yeah, it's like we stumbled on this. You know what? Let's take advantage of it. And so because they don't know how long it's going to last. And I think you have to strike. And you have a coach that before this season, he was teetering on the hot seat.
That's true. I also just real quick before we wrap trade deadline stuff, I think the Dolphins made a big mistake firing Chris Greer last week instead of waiting.
I thought that was bizarre.
I think that handicapped their ability to try to do a poor man's version of what the Jets did today. Guys that we know aren't going to be on the team next year, move them.
5 o'clock in New York City on a trade deadline Tuesday. It's first things first, overtime. Danny, welcome.
Thank you.
Have you been absorbing all of the trades?
I decided to follow the trade deadline today.
Yeah. We are locked in.
Were you bummed your Bears stood pat?
Oh, they traded a 7th-round pick for a defensive end with no sacks.
Oh, yeah, because that did happen. I don't mind those. The old 7 for 6 swap.
When you get a player?
Yeah, I like those.
First hour, first things first, overtime. Cowboys, Colts, Seahawks making moves. The Jags are making moves. Jacoby Myers. I don't mind Jacoby Myers back in New England.
Oh, the Raiders are sellers. Really
Who won the trade deadline we discussed? Meanwhile, did the Chiefs keep their top spot on Danny's top 10 despite a loss in Buffalo? But we're starting with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones promised us that he would make a big trade and didn't tell us who it was going to be. Turns out it was a big trade. He was right. Quinnen Williams headed to Dallas. The Jets are receiving a 2nd-round pick and a 1st-round pick in 2027. Danny, was it a mistake for Dallas, in your mind, to be buyers at the trade deadline?
Yes, it was. But I try to approach these things rationally, with some degree of logical consistency. And I think that's a huge mistake when we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Because the thing that made news from that interview before the game yesterday was what you just alluded to. That Jerry called a shot. He's like, I got a trade.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I can make it if I want to. And then they lose the game, and he ends up making the trade anyway, as Nick was pointing out earlier, the result of the game obviously had no bearing on the trade. But there was something else he said in the interview that I thought was worth bringing up for this conversation today, because I think it's as direct of an admission of what Jerry is doing that makes them one team and 31 teams someone else. So here's what he said to Stephen A. on the radio yesterday. What you do is a little bit of my philosophy. The Dallas Cowboys probably have the kind of interest that we have in no small part because we stay out front and we stay controversial. When it gets slow, I stir that bleep up. Fact, I just want to be relevant. I just want you to be looking at us. And so I bring that up because I don't think it makes sense to trade away Micah Parsons and then trade for Quinnen Williams when you're 3-5-1. But if you zoom out, in 2022, when they won 12 games, what'd they do at the deadline? Nothing. We were talking about them. 2023, when they won 12 games, what'd they do at the deadline? Did they make a move to get them over the top? No. We were talking about them. But last year they were bad. They traded for that receiver, Mingo, or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
about
that.
Put it in the news for just a minute.
That was great.
Yeah. And then this year, this weird kind of out of nowhere big swing trade. And I like Quinnen Williams when we could talk about the football side of it. And I actually think Nick was a little harsh on it earlier, and we'll get into it. But, why is there a weird holdout every year with a star player to make us talk about them? I don't believe that this trade is 100% motivated by football reasons. I feel like he justifies it because they're leading the 5 o'clock hour today.
That's a good point. I think there's some truth to that last statement you made. But the problem with you and Nick today, and the reason y'all are so exasperated, is because you're late to the party. They have no plan, okay? They fly by the seat of their pants. And I've known it for 5-6 years now and been saying it. All right? I mean, I don't expect Jerry, and I do think Jerry, and you guys would be right on that, is thinking, here we go. We're 3-5-1. We're only a few games out. We're about to make a run. And their schedule is tough. So they got Detroit and the Bills, I think the Chiefs. But I agree. It would have been best just to keep Micah. Signed him a few years ago, in fact, right? But now that they're where they are, I like Quinnen Williams as an ad. And I get it. If he were on the last year of his deal and it was like we're going for it now, it would clearly be a mistake. But bringing him into that facility for the next at least 3 years or so, 2-3 years, I think is a good move. So and look, the draft, you don't know. I mean, you're getting in Quinnen Williams, a potentially great player who has been great just a few years ago. You don't necessarily know that in the draft. You said Mozzie Smith. Yeah. They thought he was going to be special.
First-round pick, he just
right?
nothing for.
And so they got a known commodity that is only 27 years old that can be good for them for the next few years. So I think going forward it'll be fine. I don't think it'll save them and get them in the playoffs this year.
I do think, though, there's an element where – so if people weren't watching earlier, I think this is abjectly insane. I think that when you look at – and I know, KW, you want me to separate the Micah trade and the Quinnen Williams trade, but part of the Quinnen Williams trade was potentially something they got in the Micah trade. They are inextricably tied. They don't make this trade without making the other one. And forget even the fact that Jerry sold us the Micah trade on we now can get 4 players, and it looks like they're getting really 1. But they are trading away their second rounder this year, which is right now projected to be about pick 45. The Packers' first rounder that they got is projected to be around pick 25. So that's a 20-pick difference. And then next year, they are trading away the better of the Packers' pick and their own pick. So they are swapping out Mozzie Smith and Micah Parsons for Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark and moving up 20 spots in the draft. That is the net of this and saving some salary cap dollars. Yes, I think that is horrific process and bad business. I also think, though, Jerry has worked his magic a bit, not just in getting us to talk about him, but because Quinnen, the last year and a half, has not been quite as good as he was early, just like Sauce. And the argument is, well, yeah, but that's because he was with some sad, bad franchise like the Jets. He's going to be all of a sudden peak motivated because he's with the Cowboys? The 3-5-1, tours coming through the locker room, bad culture, circus Cowboys. Now we're going to get the best Quinnen Williams? I don't buy it. They are still viewed as this prestige franchise because they are a prestige franchise, but I don't know that. If we heard today the Cincinnati Bengals made this trade, I would think it would be insane. The Bengals are in the exact position. One guy's not fixing the defense. This year is dead. Your offense is already all set and already all locked up. I don't understand it.
So I think, to be clear, this is an overpay for Quinnen Williams, a 27-year-old. I agree, very good. But I think it's an overpay for him. Where I think Jerry would disagree with you is he would say, we have gotten 4 or 5 players for Micah Parsons because of the point that you've been bringing up, the money difference. Like, Quinnen Williams is on a 4-year, $96 million deal. He's in year 2 of it. Micah is about to enter a 5-year, $210 million contract with the Packers. That's a significant difference. Since the Cowboys have traded Micah Parsons, they gave, Osa Odigizua an $80 million contract to stay. They gave Deron Bland a bunch of money to stay. They gave Tyler Smith a bunch of money to stay. Jerry would argue he would not be able to sign those players to keep them in Dallas if they had to give Micah Parsons $200 million.
Right. What they've done is they've overpaid defensive players for a terrible defense. That's what they've done.
Well, again, I'm not saying that the allocation of resources is correct, but to say that it's just Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams, where Jerry would be like, but I wouldn't be able to sign these other guys.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on it, but the whole idea behind this is not this coming off season from now, they are re-signing Quinnen Williams to a deal that shatters Chris Jones's. And you don't trade this for him to be on your team for a year and a half, or 2.5 years. You do it because you want him there long term. Like, yes, he will be cheaper than Micah, but the actual real money save is very temporary before his $24 million a year becomes $38 million a year or whatever it's going to be. I am not shocked that the Colts went for it. I think it's a mistake, but I at least understand it. I am shocked that the Cowboys were working out a trade last night that was not finalized, then watched that game and went through with it. And can I ask you a question before we move on? Do you think if Jerry hadn't said that to Stephen A., they still make the trade?
I mean, probably.
I just want.
Are we writing? I'm not ready to. I don't know.
You are ready to write off the Cowboys for this season.
But I feel like if the Cowboys did nothing, and again, the last night's game kind of colors our view of the Cowboys. If they did nothing, the question we would ask, surprise Cowboys didn't try to bolster their defense? That would be a fair question to ask. They've got a good offense that had a down game against the Cardinals, and Jacoby Brissett looked like a Pro Bowler. Surprised the Cowboys just stood pat. I'd be like, yeah, they should have done something.
I guess I would have said, no, it's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
For this year.
To be 31 and 32 and everything, I think is odd.
Oh, listen, Quinnen Williams makes their defense better. But this year they're in 11th place.
But get him now for the next few years.
Okay.
Speaking of moves, your Chargers did make a move to try to replace Joe Alt.
They did.
It was the Joe Alt injury.
Not gonna work, Danny.
Thanks, Brou.
It's not perfect. But did that drop the Chargers out of today's edition of Top 10 Tuesday?
It did. Big shakeup in the top 10. This is not about January. This is not benefit of the doubt for the future. Injuries are factored in. This is what I think of your team today. So a big drop for Brou's Packers coming in at number 10. I think the Tucker Kraft injury is massive for them. He matters a ton for their ability in the middle of the field. Their running game doesn't look right. They're booing their kicker at home. Bryce Young had 2 road victories in his career, went into Lambeau as a 2-touchdown underdog and won. They're good. They're just not great. They're the 10th best team in the NFL. At number 9, Wilds' Patriots. You showed it earlier. It truly is remarkable in a 6-game winning streak. Drake May has an argument to be the MVP of the league over the last 6 games. If you're first across the board, he could have been a Bear. MV Caleb. I'm not staying up at night about it. I'm not thinking about it.
Caleb's on the mark.
It's not something I'm thinking about.
Caleb?
It's not something I'm thinking about.
Pause. Top 10
just
Tuesday.
thinking about it, maybe.
You can't. You got that.
I'm
has
not
to
thinking
be
about
inner
it.
monologue.
I'm not thinking about it.
You can't say that you're having regret.
I'm not thinking about it.
You just
over Drake
dropped
May.
him.
Everything's fine.
Wow.
Everything's fine.
Wow.
Everything's fine.
Coming off one of his best games.
Yikes. It was a great game.
Like I said,
Ben Johnson on the show
it was
tomorrow.
the Bengals.
Coming up at number 8, the Indianapolis Colts. I think an aberration for Indy with the 6 giveaways. Still love the offensive line. Still love Jonathan Taylor. And really, what bad loss to the Steelers because you just went all in for Sauce Gardner. Would I have made that move? No, I wouldn't trade 2 first-round picks for anyone who isn't a quarterback. I think trading 2 first-round picks and then some for defensive players, generally speaking, ages really poorly. But I do support the aggression, and makes them basically the most interesting team in the NFL in the second half of the season. At number 7, my NFC Championship pick for the last 3 years, the Detroit Lions. Listen, that was a bad performance. They got run all over. They had a kick blocked. Their offense did not kick in. Their offense has not been as good the last couple of games. I like that the defense is largely healthy. I think that Dan Campbell will figure it out. But allowing 4 touchdowns to J.J. McCarthy, I got to drop the Lions for now. At number 6, welcome back to the Baltimore Ravens.
Pandering.
What? No.
The pandering.
Nick, what do you hate about my ability to watch football?
Not the standings. I love it.
My eye test.
Not the standings.
The eye test, baby. The defense is healthy, and when Lamar starts and finishes a game, I mean, it's a top 3 offense in football.
Yeah, it is.
35 a game, 6 yards per play, a passer rating of 141, and 9 explosive plays per game. All of those are top 3 ranks in the NFL. With a healthy defense and a healthy Lamar Jackson, Baltimore is back to being an elite team in the NFL. At number 5, big fall for the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, it's not January.
At least they're ahead of Baltimore.
They beat them.
Very kind of you.
They beat them. And again, this isn't January, but Mahomes' worst game, arguably, of his career against a defense that we thought was bad. And I know you say vanilla game plan, but you lost a Saturn betting on the Chiefs in that spot. We thought they were going to be better. We thought they were going to be better.
Private information.
I'm just saying.
How much is a Saturn?
Yeah,
they don't sell them.
Yeah, but it's vintage. Yeah, well, it's a lot of money. At number 4, the champs, the Philadelphia Eagles, rounded into form. Cannot wait for their game Monday night against the Packers, a 4v10 matchup in Top 10 Tuesday. A couple of weeks ago, Jalen Hurts looked great. Then Saquon looked great. Defense continues to improve under Vic Fangio. They keep adding little ancillary parts around the end. Still think that defense hasn't played their best football yet. Eagles, a very scary football team. And now we get weird. The Seattle Seahawks come in as the 3rd best team in the NFL. Trivia question. How many teams in the NFL are top 5 in the NFL in both offense and defense?
Just Seattle.
Good job by you. The Seattle Seahawks
would have been weird if the answer was like
14
Rams.
Yeah, all right, I guess I gave it away. Seattle top 5. But let's dig a little deeper into the numbers here on Seattle. Points per game, 5th. Opponents' points per game, 5th. They sack you, the 3rd most, but they get sacked the literal least. 3rd best passer rating, 5th best opponent passer rating. What don't they do well? The Seattle Seahawks come in at number 3, but we are 2 weeks away from an NFC West matchup that I cannot wait for. The game is in LA. I trust Matt Stafford in the 2nd place in Danny's top 10. LA Rams at number 2. I loved him at number 1 on Bru's ballot for MVP. The touchdown to interception ratio is ridiculous. The young defense is ridiculous. Best run organization in the NFL? They've got an argument for it with 2 first-round picks coming up in this draft. They do, Nick.
I don't know. I think Philly and Kansas City probably have a pretty strong argument for the best run organization.
Okay, I understand, but with their quarterback, with their ability to retool their defense, the youth on their roster, the amount of draft capital they still have, the Rams are absolutely in that conversation. And then at number 1, the Buffalo Bills. What do I have to say? I didn't know if their defense could do it, and then they did it to the best offense in football. Everyone says, why don't they trade for a receiver? I don't know, because they basically score more points than any team in the NFL with Josh Allen, that offensive line, and James Cook. Defense rounding into form. The Bills are your best team in football. Brou?
Top 10 Tuesday.
Perfect top 10?
Not perfect, but not bad. Before I get to the Ravens, I think I would move the Eagles to 2nd.
Okay.
Ahead of the Rams. They obviously beat the Rams and ahead of the Seahawks, though I really like the Seahawks. I don't mind them moving up from last week. But the Ravens. And I didn't even bring up the addition of Draymond Jones from Cleveland, by the way. He'll help. He's not great, but 4.5 sacks in his last 4 games. That is on pace for his career high for him. The Ravens, even as their defense has been improving, they got 11 sacks in 8 games. So they've been at the bottom of the league, basically, in terms of pass rush. So he'll help a little with that. And that defense is improving. And like you said, Lamar's back, and the schedule's very favorable. So I like it. Look, not the standings. Nick talks that talk, but when the tears come out, it's kind of the standings. The Ravens, not the standings.
Not the standings.
Okay.
Not the standings.
This is just rife with errors.
Whoa! Rife with errors.
Listen, I'm not even going to worry about the Chiefs piece of it. By your own logic, the Chiefs lost a 1-score game on the road to the best team in football.
Yeah.
Why they plummet, I don't know.
I mean, they're 5-4.
But they were 5-3, and you had them as the best team in the league a week ago. I am shocked and borderline appalled by your lack of faith in Justin Herbert. I can't. They just won. They
did win.
They were on the top 10 previously.
They were number 10.
And yet they're out. Why?
Well, Joe Alt is out for the season, and as I said before, state of the team today.
Well, okay, the Green Bay Packers lost Tucker Kraft and lost an awful game. The Chargers lose Joe Alt and win. Listen,
the Packers were ranked higher.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
Deep down, with your eye test, you've watched the Chargers and your beloved Justin Herbert this year, and you're like, he's not the guy.
He's kind of
not the guy.
It's not all about the quarterback.
You're like, he's not
we
the guy.
haven't seen a Peyton Manning.
We haven't exactly. You're like, he's not the guy. Okay, then on that front, where the hell are the Bucs? If it's a team game,
about to be 6 and 5.
And it's not just but what are they right now?
6-2.
Yes, and so I don't think, like you said, it's not January. It's also not December.
No,
it's also not November 10th. What day is it? November 4th.
It's also not the standings.
I understand.
Thank you, Brou.
But what more do the Bucs need to do to prove to you? How many
margin of victory would help?
How many teams? How many teams? Hold on.
Thank you.
Am I tripping? Did the Bucs beat Seattle? Am I?
Yeah, 38-35.
Am I right about that? They beat Seattle.
They did.
They did the Bucs? They beat someone else in your top 10, but I'm forgetting who it is. Did they beat the Rams? I can't quite remember. How are they not in your top 10?
They're not in my top 10 because injuries. No, I love Baker.
All their guys are coming back. Bucky Irving's coming back. The right tackle's coming back.
Mike Evans is not coming back. And they are in a situation where all the 1-score wins that they have right now feels very unsustainable. And the schedule that they are about to impart on, if they come out of this upcoming stretch, out of the bye with New England, Buffalo, and the Rams, and they go 2-1 in that stretch, big public apology from me for the Bucs. I think those are 3 losses.
3 losses
up for Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I do.
All right, it was San Francisco was the team I was thinking, but they're also
not in my top 10. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know what? The Patriots beating the Bucs saved it at the end. I like that. I'm a little nervous.
Of course you should be nervous.
Off a bye.
So I guess the Patriots are guaranteed to be in Danny's picks this weekend. They got to be. They're underdogs, right?
2.5, yeah.
So you've got the Bucs losing, and you're getting points. Lock that in now.
Lock that in right now.
Yeah.
Lock that in right now.
Coming up next.
Friday.
More reaction to the trade deadline. Danny and Greg, are the Colts Super Bowl bound with Sauce Gardner? We discuss next on First Things First, Overtime.
We welcome you back with another trade from the Jets earlier today, and based on the compensation, the biggest trade of the day, cornerback Sauce Gardner is going to the Colts. In return, the Jets, not 1, but 2 first-round picks and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell, an absolute blockbuster of a trade. Here's Sauce Gardner's reaction. Quite simply, New York, it's been real. I'm tearing up over the emotion. Sauce Gardner, passer rating allowed against, not off to the best start, though no receiver has more than 2 catches against him so far in a single game this year. Greg, you're a big Colts guy. Who won the trade?
Look, right now, I would go with the Colts. Now, I think if you're a Jets fan and you're looking at the trade value that they acquired because of this, hoping that you are going to get some quality picks because of it and talent, you're going to say the Jets. But for me, what the Colts are doing right now is saying, we believe in this roster. We believe in Daniel Jones. We need to shore up what we don't have in our secondary with a player that we believe in. And given the scheme that he will now be in, given the environment that he's going to be now put in, those numbers that we just showed the audience, like, I get that he has regressed, if you will, or declined in his performance. But when you go to work every day and it is a struggle to be there, I don't care how great you are, it's going to tax you in terms of what you're going to be able to translate to the field. Now he's going to go into a situation where he believes that they think, man, I'm the missing piece to something that can be very special. So I like this for the Colts in the interim right now.
I was floored by what they gave up for him. Like, he is crazy talented, and how he came into the league, it looked like he was going to change the game in some ways. I mean, first team All-Pro, his first couple of years in the league. And I get it, the Colts, they're 26th in passing yards allowed, right? He is a good player that fills a weakness for the team. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. I respect the logic and the aggression of it from just filling a need. But trading multiple first-round picks for a non-quarterback is risky business. And it's littered with, a couple of hits. Jalen Ramsey ended up winning a Super Bowl for the Rams.
Exactly.
But he was gone a couple of years later. Yep. Khalil Mack had a great first year in Chicago, but not much after that. The Jamal Adams trade, a disaster.
That was complete disaster.
Of a trade. Micah Parsons, we'll see how it ages. Giving up a wide receiver and 2 first-round picks for a guy that you can just not target if you don't want to me is a massive amount of capital. And I would be concerned if I'm the Colts, and it's like, the Jets hired Aaron Glenn. They hired a defensive coach. And maybe he got there and looked around and was like, these guys are talented, but their reputation exceeds their actual production. A defensive coach being willing to trade away Sauce Gardner right when he gets there tells me that Sauce Gardner has maybe become a tad overrated. Overrated.
So that very well could be true. However, I would like to look at it and propose this. When you are Sauce Gardner and you're drafted into an organization and you have the amount of success that he has right out the gate, along with Quinnen Williams, who we now know has been traded, we'll talk about that later, and you are in an organization where they fire your head coach, a guy that was on your side of the ball, that put you in the best situation to be successful as a player, and then the guy that was then calling plays, he's no longer there. All this turnover, and you bring in a guy who Aaron Glenn, who I might like, but now I'm in a place where I'm all pro. There's a sense of entitlement, so the way that I approach work is slightly different. A new environment is necessary. Sometimes a new environment is necessary for a reboot, and I just believe that what Sauce Gardner was, it's easy for us to say, you know what, he's not that anymore.
Well, he's 25. I'm sure he still is a wildly talented, effective player. It could work for the Colts. I feel like for the Jets, which is why I'm comfortable saying they won the trade, they were a bad defense and a losing team with him.
Of course.
So you could be a bad team and a bad defense and a losing team without him, and then you have a couple of first-round picks and you freed up a bunch of money. Like I love it from the Jets' perspective, and it will be very interesting to see if one cornerback can solve the pass defense for the Colts.
And that's what they're not asking one cornerback. It feels like that because we're in the moment and they've just shipped off 2 first-round draft picks and a receiver that was playing. And so it feels that way. However, they're thinking, okay, if we get this piece and we get Charvarius Ward back after the bye week, that's 2 pieces to our puzzle in our secondary that will then couple together, give us some insurance on the back end. I'll sign up for that.
I'll say this too. Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts, very respected, known as being pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Like, this is a shocking trade for him to make. He must really believe that they are ready to contend with Daniel Jones.
There
your
you
guy.
go. Absolutely.
Okay.
And
that's a big bet. It's a big bet.
It's a huge bet, and I'm with them. Let's go get it.
To last night's game, the Cowboys fell to the Cardinals 27-17. They're 3-5-1. Dak was sacked 5 times, 3 giveaways on offense. Defense gave up 27 points. Here's Dak after the bad loss to Arizona.
If I had that answer, we wouldn't be struggling, to be honest with you, and not to not to leave it at that, but that's what this bye week's for. We've got to figure it out. Me personally, hope everybody on this team individually, and I know for sure as a staff and an organization, it's going to be about how can we improve and fix these last 2 weeks that are nowhere close to anything that we want to be.
All right, so we're going to do kind of a state of the Cowboys thing here, Greg, because they lose last night on Monday Night Football, and then they wake up today and they trade for Quinnen Williams. They give up on Mozzie Smith, the 2020 this year's second, next year's first, a massive haul. So they're 3-5-1. They're the 11th seed in the NFC, but they added a 27-year-old uber-talented defensive tackle. Mistake for the Cowboys to be buyers?
No, I don't think it was a mistake for them to be buyers. Now, the timing of which they did it, some would suggest, could they have done it a lot sooner? Of course, because, and I believe you feel this way, May. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Their season's over.
Oh, it's over.
After last night,
it's over.
After last night, with the standings being what they are and the teams having the wins already stacked up against them, like their season's over. So, but does he make them better moving forward? Absolutely. And if you are Jerry Jones and you are trying to sell, we're a circus. We're going to always have things going on. You're going to pay attention to what we're doing as an organization, whether we're in it or not. This is what you do. You sign a name player that you know is going to be beneficial moving forward, regardless of how we all feel about it. He is great for them in the run game. He's great for them in the pass rush because of what he can provide.
Got 1 sack this year.
Again.
He's a talented player. He's a talented player.
I can't stress this enough. If you don't like where you're working, you're probably not going to always put your best foot forward. I know it's sad to hear that. It's frustrating to hear that if you're a Jets fan because it's like, we pay you all this money, you're a professional. Well, yeah, but when you have Woody Johnson and all the things that you have to go up against and contest against, you feel good the fact that you're away from that building.
So I think that this is motivated by Jerry Jones wanting us to talk about them, and he wants them. He's desperate. He's in his early 80s. He wants them to be relevant and hyper-aggressive. Like, if they were going to trade Micah Parsons, they should have done it before the draft, so they could have used that draft capital for a pick that would help this year's team. If you're going to trade for Quinnen Williams, do it after the season so you know exactly where your draft capital is. Like, accept what you are in the moment. You're the 11th seed in the NFC, and Quinnen Williams, talented, doesn't cover anybody. You know, and so like, I don't think he solves all of their pass defense issues. And it's an amazing deodorant because I watched last night's game, and they lost that game 27-17. And do you know how many touchdowns their offense scored? If you carry the 1, it would be 1. Like, their offense also was not good. Like, there is no part of this team right now today that is truly excellent. And by the way, I like Dak Prescott and how he's been playing. He's been playing great. And Pickens and Lamb are talented. And Javonte Williams has had a nice year. But this is a middling team at best. So to give up significant future capital for a guy to join the 11 seed doesn't make any sense. Add him in the offseason.
I agree with adding him in the offseason.
Like, why now?
Because you're about making splash. You're about the attention.
That's not a good reason.
For Jerry Jones, when have we said it's a good reason?
I know, but I am trying to apply, like, is this good for the football team? It's undeniably good for the brand, but is it good for the football team to give up a first-round pick and a second-round pick for a 27-year-old defensive tackle who you've got under contract for 2 years when this year you're missing the playoffs? Is that a good idea?
It's not for this year, no.
Okay.
And I don't think they made this move for this year.
Sure.
They made this move to move forward. And when we're looking at their offense, would you say their offense is a problem?
Last night it was. Overall, it is not.
Exactly.
No question.
So everybody has a hiccup every now and again, and they did last night offensively. But moving forward, you don't believe that they're going to struggle that way in that magnitude offensively, and now defensively, you feel like we've taken a step in the right direction. You talked about them not having guys in the back end to cover, but when you have guys who can get to the quarterback, move them off their spots, speed them up, you help the guys in the back end not have to cover that much longer.
There's no question about that. It's complimentary. And again, it's a weird spot to be in because Quinnen Williams is good. Quinnen Williams.
He's excellent.
Yeah, right. He obviously makes them better. But you have to compare. It's like, okay, you are spending money on Quinnen Williams. You are giving up a second-round pick this year. You are giving up a first-round pick in the 2027 draft, which draft people say is one of the best drafts in a decade. Like, it's a huge acquisition cost for a very good player on a very mediocre team. A really active trade deadline, so there's a ton of moves that we haven't even discussed that we have to get to, including the Seahawks. Sneaky big move for my third best team in the NFL. We'll get into it. All right, let's run through a very busy trade deadline today. The Eagles got ahead of the trade deadline yesterday by trading with the Dolphins, getting Jaelan Phillips, the edge rusher. Miami got a 2026 third-round pick in return. And this comes after a few other trades earlier in the week where Jair Alexander and Michael Carter also go with Howie Roseman, maybe the most respected general manager in the NFL, making 3 moves this week. So, Greg, what do you, as you evaluate it on the whole, you could single out one if you want, but on the whole, do you like the Eagles' moves?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I definitely love the Jaelan Phillips move. Obviously, the relationship, the tie with Vic Fangio being down in Miami a few years ago when he was a younger player. Still on a rookie contract. Obviously, he suffered a couple injuries, Achilles and torn ACL, so he's still getting back to form. And I think
he's got 3 sacks in his last 5 games.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's looking more like himself.
And now you couple him with that defensive line, the guys that they got, Nolan Smith coming back, so you feel like you can establish something there. I even like the Jair Alexander, the relationship there he has with, I believe it's Christian Parker, quality control guy when he was in the Green Bay. So there's ties there that just kind of make sense. And a depth, an experienced guy in the secondary that you can trust if he's able to get on the field and he's able to be healthy. Both of these guys, if healthy, can help this team.
Yeah, Jair Alexander to me is a little bit more name at this point. Like he catches the ball. He's got great hands for a corner. But I'm with you on Phillips. Like Phillips just feels like, oh, Vic Fangio's going to get the most out of him. And more so than any player, Howie Roseman deserves the benefit of the doubt on draft picks and trades. He doesn't mean he has no misses, right? He took Jalen Reagor and not Justin Jefferson. Like everyone's got misses.
Absolutely.
But his hit rate is higher than everyone else's, and he will make a trade today that can help in 2 years, or he can make a trade for now. Like he's a ton of job security, a GM who wins more than he loses, and they don't have a ton of weaknesses. So these are around the edge luxury additions that I think work out very well for Philadelphia. To Seattle, big move for a team that really has Super Bowl aspirations here. Sam Darnold gets another guy, trading for Rashid Shaheed, the deep threat from the Saints, giving up a 4th and a 5th round pick in return. It's worth looking because it's like Sam Darnold, this is how he's been on deep balls this year. 2nd in yards, 1st in rating, tied for 1st in completion percentage. And you see the note at the bottom, Shaheed has over 1,000 receiving yards on deep passes. That's 20 more air yards on ball travels in the air since 2019. JSN's been arguably the best receiver in football.
There's no arguably.
Okay, fair, all right, fair. I mean, listen, I think as long as Jamar Chase walks this earth and Justin Jefferson walks the earth, there's at least an argument.
We didn't say he's the best. You said
this year. Sure, the production this year is ridiculous. But you get Shaheed just to take the defense, just for safety help over the top. I feel like it helps their run game, which has been inconsistent. I love this move for Seattle.
Yeah, it's a great move. Obviously, we know what Sam Darnold's been able to do and what obviously JSN. I think this really helps. When you have a quarterback that can't put on the cape, so to speak, the way that Josh Allen does, the way that Lamar Jackson does, the way that we expect and anticipate guys like Patrick Mahomes to do, you support them by adding guys like this. Like, that makes sense. That makes the overall structure of who you want to be just go in the right direction. JSN is going to benefit from this. We thought his numbers were great. Now with Cooper Kupp being sidelined in and out, in 1 week, out the next, like this give them some stability. And he's not only a guy that just can go deep. Like he can run the entire route tree. He can be inside in the slot. He can be outside, and he's a gadget guy. So they got a lot of bang for your buck with this pickup.
I really would have liked to see Alvin Kamara get out of New Orleans. I know he wants to be a Saint for life, and I know that's respectable, and I know it's not exactly what we're talking about right now.
What you have to say.
I know, but like
I would have loved to see him.
Alvin Kamara on the Chiefs. That's box office. He's too good of a player to be on a team that's going to have a top 3 pick in the draft. I don't like it, but good move for Seattle. All right, let's go to Jacksonville here. More receiving help for Trevor Lawrence as Jacoby Myers moves for a 4th and 2026 6th round pick. So a 4th and a 6th for Jacoby Myers. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, it's kind of amazing. They 2 first-round picks for Travis Hunter, a first-round pick for Brian Thomas, a $40 million contract for Gabe Davis, now 2 more draft picks for Jacoby Myers. How much more does he need? Multiple head coaches, multiple play callers. They drafted his college teammate, Travis Etienne. Like, if not now, when?
This is very telling. This is very telling. The fact that they are going to go out and acquire someone like Jacoby Myers, a guy that he's not a number 1, but he can definitely be productive in an offense. We've seen him be productive in offenses that had less talent at quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. So the reason why I say it's very telling is because of all the things you just mentioned. How much more do we need to put and surround you with until we pull the plug on you? And so if this doesn't work out, it's the finger has to be pointed right back at Trevor Lawrence. Like, okay, you're the problem, not all these other pieces.
And I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence is obviously talented, right? He has periods of confidence.
He has moments.
He has moments, right? And he looks the part. But then he gets down into the red zone and he gives the ball to the other team. Or he fumbles it consistently. All the time. Like Jacoby Myers doesn't solve that problem. Yeah. Liam Cohen has not yet solved that problem. And if you're 5 years into your career and still doing it, I don't know when the problem gets solved.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen had an issue throwing the ball away in the red zone too.
Okay, but by year 5, the guys winning playoff games.
I'm just saying. So I'm not giving up on him.
You're still holding out hope.
This is telling. We're going to help you one time. This might be the last time.
It's an unconventional way to go about getting all these receivers too. First-round picks, yeah. Contracts, in-season trades. Trading for receivers in season, it's tough.
It is.
Like learn the playbook, learn the terminology, learn the timing. Like most of the guys, when they make the trades in season, do not make an immediate impact.
That is a very good statement and understanding that you have there. You must have played receiver at some point in your life.
Me and Brou.
You and Brou?
Me and Brou are the receivers on the show. What position did you play again?
I didn't.
It doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't.
All right. Well, at least the Chargers traded for a tackle to try to keep Justin Herbert up. Oh, wait.
They need bodies.
Yeah, they did. Right there. Trevor Penning to the Chargers. I got to tell you, just as we go out the door here, this isn't going to be enough. This doesn't replace Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater for the most pressured quarterback and the most hit quarterback in football. So do I like it for Herbert? Yeah, because something's more than nothing, but it's not enough. It's not fair what's happened to Justin Herbert.
It's not fair what's happening, but I'm glad that they went out and got something. Like
they did something?
You can't not do anything. When you lost Slater and now Alt for the year.
And Pipkins, the third tackle's been hurt. And out
you got to go and get some type of body to where you can move guys around and just have some semblance of an offensive line and continuity.
And offensive linemen can make, like receivers, it's very hit or miss. It's tough. Offensive linemen, they can definitely stabilize something. And I just hope Justin Herbert survives this season because he's playing at a ridiculous level
really is.
When he is staying upright.
He really is. And I know I've been on this show saying I need to see more. And it's going to require a whole lot more from Justin Herbert now that he doesn't have Alt as well.
I mean, that game against the Titans was somehow close late. They scored 27 points. The Titans did not score an offensive touchdown, and it was a one-score game. It's like, what more does Justin Herbert have to do? But everybody around him keeps getting injured. So, this is probably yet again not going to ultimately be his year. Maybe he's not going to be Peyton Manning until year 7, I'm early, not wrong on Justin Herbert. I'm early.
Right now, you're wrong.
Right now, I'm wrong.
I'm just going to say you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong, so every now and again.
I wouldn't know. although my wife would disagree. One of the most active trade deadlines in the last 15 years in the NFL, which I think is good. Like, if it's good for business, interest, there should be more trades in all sports. Who won the deadline? We discussed. Coming up. 8 trades today, second most for any deadline going back to 1990. Jets are rebuilding. The Cowboys made additions to their defense for some reason. Wide receiver for Trevor Lawrence, wide receiver for Sam Darnold. The defending champs making a few additions over the last 24 hours. Greg, who won the trade deadline and why?
I would have to go with the defending champs, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Howie Roseman.
Getting Jaelan Phillips. I think the addition of even Jair Alexander is going to help them. They need depth at that corner position. Depending on how much he plays, we'll see. But with the scheme familiarity with Vic Fangio and Phillips, he can be inserted right away. He was coming on strong with the Miami Dolphins. I like what they do. They grab pieces that not only make sense right now, but also for the future if they work out and they pan out to be great players. So I like that.
So, like, not the splashiest trades, but because of the coaches, they will fit in easily and make the adjustment
and I'll add really quickly, the fact that they held on to what we know, I don't care how you can slice it, a disgruntled A.J. Brown and not letting him get out of there. I love that they just said, you know what, we believe in you, we know we need you, we're going to add some pieces, everything's going to be just fine.
I agree with that. Sometimes the trade you don't make ends up being the best trade. For me, it's the Jets, and I know they're sellers, and I know it's a rebuild, and I know it's a teardown. But if you're a bad defense and a bad team with Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, you could be a bad team and a bad defense without them, and now you've got 2 first-round picks this year and 3 first-round picks in 2027. All right, rebuild your team. Find your franchise quarterback. Hit on those draft picks, young, cheap talent. Now, the hitting on the draft picks part is the difficult component. I understand that. But you traded a defensive tackle and a cornerback from a bad defense. Now you are primed and locked and loaded to dominate April.
Yeah, I don't mind what they did. They definitely won the deadline to a degree, but those draft picks that are unknown is what scares me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Jets have 3 first-round picks before and then still end up being bad. It has happened before, so I'm sure if anyone could do it, they could do it again. But a new day coming for the New York Jets. Exciting show. Fun to do it. We'll be back tomorrow on First Things First. Ben Johnson joins us.